back to Splice and Splatter, the film podcast where classic horror
meets modern gore.
We're your hosts. I'm Siena.
And I'm Al, or are we werewolves?
Are we?
Oh my god. We're also in our furs today.
We are in our furs. We're in our fur era. The werewolf puns are only going to go downhill from here.
Oh my god. I hope you got them.
God, I genuinely, I don't know what happened to me writing these notes, Al. I know I wrote to you and I was like, there's not like a whole, like, there's good information, but I think I'm good to keep it pretty light. And then...
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I checked my note count and it was at 5, and then I checked my note count and it was at 16. And I
don't
know what happened in between.
You just transformed and
I guess Marsha Quist took over.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I'm like definitely gonna cut things as I go,
sure,
willy-nilly, but like I feel like I'm gonna be surprised by them all over again, especially because I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, you also...
I woke up in the Piccadilly Circus Zoo, just naked and howling.
I was gonna say you did have a fever, so Siena's recovering.
I am on a lot of cold meds at the moment, so
I'm glad you're going first for that.
Me too, truly. So if I sound a little bit stuffy, I apologize. Hopefully it's not too bad, but the werewolves needed us.
Truly.
So
these were fun.
And I know we had been talking at the end of last episode about, are these two too similar to pair?
Yeah, because both 1981.
Both 1981 shared crew in common.
Yeah.
Like their directors were friends. So much backstory connecting them.
Wildly different.
So different.
Wildly different films.
And also we really chose the right ones for each of us.
I said that too.
Yeah.
I think it was God, it must have barely... I think it was the opening credits, to be fair, but then there was, like, a moment in that alleyway with, like, she's, like, walking down it or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is fucking Siena.
Yeah.
This is not Siena, and the humor, I feel like, is definitely me in
oh my God.
American Werewolf.
When he was, like, running around with the balloons, I was like...
I love them so much.
Love this.
I love them so much.
Had you seen them before?
American Werewolf, I've seen a bunch of times.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
I'm very familiar.
So it's a comfort movie.
It's a comfort movie for sure. Howling, I thought I had some assembly of idea of what it was. I've seen the poster a million times.
Yeah,
everyone always
incredible.
talks about it, but never knew nothing about it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what's his name from Body Snatchers was in
it.
Yeah. So I was very delighted to see him.
The number of B-movie horror cameos in The Howling is just... Roger Corman's in this movie.
Which is he with the one that I was I'm really bad with names. I think we all know this at this point. Well, I need faces.
We'll get there in a second.
Okay,
we'll get there in a second. But
thoughts?
We really couldn't have assigned them better, especially this was my first Joe Dante too. I haven't seen Gremlins. Haven't seen any Joe Dante. And
you might have to do Gremlins for Christmas.
I was thinking the same.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'll cover it if you want me to.
Amazing. No, after watching this, I was like,
Gremlins
am I a Joe Dante fanboy?
Because this is truly a gem of a movie. It is a gem of a movie. It's so good. Everyone fires on all cylinders in Gremlins. I love Gremlins too, to be fair. Does Joe Dante do Gremlins too?
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, we two comedic kind of directors too.
Like comic horror.
Yeah,
both of them. And it's interesting. I think in some ways yours felt a lot more lighthearted.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
But it also so much in ways so much worse happens in yours. It's very brutal.
Especially that end.
The end, and also the being haunted by this traumatizing ghost of your dead best friend.
Yeah. And having to battle with killing yourself for the good of everyone around you.
Your dead best friend keeps coming back to be kill yourself. I'm what is this, my first movie?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's heavy topics and handled in a way that you almost can, I would hate to say can look past those things, but it handles it better than some would handle it.
It handles it in a way where by the time the closing credits are rolling, you almost forget that those things happened.
Oh yeah.
Which also most jarring cut to credits since
oh my God.
possibly Dario Argento's Deep Red. I'm thinking.
That one's we could have couple really jarring jumps to credits. Like, well, okay.
That was like one of the biggest laughs to me of the whole movie, and it was full of laughs.
I don't know why people do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Nobody do that unless you want to be funny about it. But yeah, these were good, and it's rainy out today too, so I feel like it's so perfect to do werewolf.
Yeah, and I think I'm trying to remember. I think last night was the new moon. So just thinking about where we are in the lunar calendar.
Yeah. Hopping in.
So yeah, let's hop in. I know we have kind of a jointed for this one because, as we said, these two films both came out in the same year. The Howling came out first. Yours came out. There were actually 3 werewolf movies this year, which is.
I actually think I might have more. Than that even, or I think there might even be a couple more.
That does not surprise me. Yeah, the other like big one that I kept encountering was Wolfen, which came out in between these two. So it was like this Wolfen and then yours. But they, as we hinted, shared crew, and so we each kind of. We didn't talk about this beforehand.
As soon as I saw the name, I was like, "Oh shit! I wonder if Siena's gonna have this tidbit." But yeah, I think we each have.
Separate halves of the story of how this crew split happened the way it did. Yeah. So I brought in...
Yeah, you kick off because it's your guy.
Great. Yeah. So I brought in a quote from Joe Dante, actually, which I'll then follow up with some history from, I believe it's from Rob Bottin, about his side of the story.
Oh, yeah. Rob Bottin is...
So Rob Bottin, he's the one who did the special effects for my film, goes on to do the special effects for The Thing 1 year later, which is why, and you can see it in a couple of specific places. I think the fingers, especially on the werewolves.
Oh my god, the fingers were my favorite.
Yeah, and they look so much like the ceiling creature in The Thing.
Yeah. And just attention to detail and really focusing on the transformation. Like holding there, like with the dogs. The dogs in The Thing are like probably my favorite special effects ever to be done ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely. So Rob Bottin is the one who was kind of on the ground doing the work, but if you see in the credits, there is kind of an advisor credit given to Rick Baker, who's the one who did the effects for Al's film. And the truth is that basically Joe Dante had tried to steal Rick Baker. Here's Joe Dante's version. Quote, John Landis had talked about American Werewolf for years. We started working on ours with Rick Baker, and John said, you can't do that. Yeah. Rick did some preliminary work that he handed over to Rob Bottin and then went to work on John's picture. It worked out fine. But I then found an interview with, actually, it was with both of our makeup artists, with Rob Bottin and Rick Baker. And Rick was talking a little bit about, I started coming up with these different ideas for this film, and then I realized these are all the same things that I was going to do on American Werewolf. I can't cheat John Landis's project like this.
That's exactly what,
and so Rob Bottin is 21 at this point.
Whoa.
He is 21 years old on the set of this movie.
Rick calls him his, protege.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, babe.
So he's like, I can't cheat the film that I've committed to for years. But I have this whiz kid. Let me throw him your way. Thing is, put a pin in that. My director Joe Dante and said whiz kid actually had already worked together. But
holy shit.
Yeah. Hold that thought. Tell me your side.
My side of the story. So, yes, John Landis was trying to have this film made for over 8 years was the amount of time.
Whoa.
So, yeah,
oh my God,
a really long time.
So, longer than my makeup artist had been doing makeup.
Yeah. He was in junior high.
Yeah, he was in junior high.
So, it'd been 8 years. He couldn't find the funding for it. Obviously, then he came out with 2 big films, Animal House and Blues Brothers. And so, he was finally able to get it made. So, when he calls up Rick Baker's like, I'm already on a werewolf project.
Oh my God.
And so John Landis...
that makes me feel a little bit better about Joe Dante having stolen him, is that Rick Baker didn't think it was going to happen.
No. And so John Landis called him, he's pissed. This man is pissed the whole time. I don't really know a ton about him personally. You guys can all make your judgments on him. So, like you said, he left the Howling and went over, but again, John Landis was really upset about this. Again, the designs were really similar. Yeah. And so, Rick Baker was trying to have like a foot in both because he's like, I don't want to leave this project that I was on, but also I've been committed to this thing.
Yeah.
John Landis basically like called him up and like bitched him out. And that's
bitched Rick Baker out?
Yeah. And was like, you promised, like, get the fuck over here. I don't want. And again, there was like debate too. They were having debates about the design of the werewolves because one's bipedal and one walks on all fours.
That was one of the things I'd been reading, was that's one of the biggest distinctions.
Yeah. And thank fuck. But
because otherwise they are real similar.
Yeah. And there was like, I'm like, how did you even want your werewolves to walk on two legs when they're already doing this in the Howling, and you know that for a fact. Like, put yours on all fours.
Absolutely. Well, and it also it makes it so much more like the wolves in the zoo, which is like the comparison point that you have on screen in yours.
So he like, and apparently he's so he got his way, but I guess John Landis has like never forgiven Rick for it, and I'm sure he like gives him shit about it all the time. I don't know how seriously he gives him shit. Yeah. I'm assuming he's probably kind of bitter, but I'm like, dude, it's not your like, it's nobody's fault that no one wanted to fund your project until you were proven to be successful.
I mean,
so I feel bad for Rick a bit.
I do too.
So that's my side of the story, is that John Landis was kind of a little bitch about it. So.
Well, and especially I have a couple thoughts. One is, why aren't you mad at Joe Dante? He's the one who tried to steal your man. Like,
well, it's not even stealing. It's like you're making a movie and yours got funded.
That's the thing. And the other thing is, like, mine, I don't know what the budget on yours was. But mine was curious. So low budget.
Oh, mine was not.
Like,
absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, I mean, like, it had some money. Yeah. It's not, it's not like a $30,000 movie, but like it, compared to what I imagine yours was, just given the Piccadilly Circus scene alone.
Yeah,
like,
which I have a fun story about that. So put a pin in Piccadilly.
I can only imagine. Pin in Piccadilly.
But yeah, I'm sure the budgets are going to be, and I think
wildly different.
They both look
incredible.
Amazing. Like equal budgets, I think.
I truly, like, I was having a debate with Dana afterwards, like, which werewolf did you like better? And like, there's such a good case to be made for either.
It's tough because the end werewolf looks so good, but also just the ears of the ones in the Howling are the cutest, and
the way
love
they grow
them.
out. The little,
oh my god, I love
sound
the
design.
Is
also great. The sound of them kind of growing is just
it's so good. I said they were making sure every ounce of money that went into those special effects, they made sure was on screen.
Exactly. Well, and that's like one of the major differences between them, is just how they're lit. And I think that's why the Howling is able to get by with as small of a budget as it does, is it hides so much in shadow.
I have a tiny little note about that. That was in the script, that it was kind of a brighter film in that way, and that scene was going to be shown, and John Landis was like, well, I'm sorry, you have the hardest way to make a werewolf transition that you're ever going to get.
It shows off the special effects incredibly.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm so excited to hear about how those transitions were done.
I have like some notes about that one specifically. So
the majority of my notes are werewolf transition.
Yours has so many.
Yes.
I'm excited for this.
Fantastic.
Unscrew my coffee, so sorry, everyone.
Yes, enjoy. Some sound effects for y'all. So this film has such spectacularly wordy taglines that I just screenshotted the IMDb page instead of bothering to type it out, and so I have to zoom way in on my notes now.
Some have like 15. I'm like, what are you doing?
They're
I have
all
2.
wordy. They're all wordy. Or like, they're all too wordy. So, what she has witnessed, she cannot escape. What he has become, he cannot control. And what you will experience, no one will believe until they come face to face with the inhuman fear that is the Howling.
Oh my gosh.
That's all one tagline. Wow. That's just our first.
That could just be a full teaser.
Yeah, that's like a line of the script. I don't know.
Full synopsis.
Second tagline. All your nightmares are about to be transformed into one single inescapable fear.
Okay.
Again, too many words. It's just too many words.
Yeah, the first one's better.
They're out there, and you're in the middle of your worst nightmare.
They are out there, and we are in the middle of our worst nightmare.
My favorite, when the Howling starts, the horror begins.
Okay.
It's at least alliterative.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Then you have Beyond Anything Human and Imagine Your Worst Fear a Reality.
Oh man.
Question.
Are werewolves everyone's worst fear?
Okay, yeah,
I didn't know that was a collective thing that we're all just jumping on board with. Were people really afraid of
I always
werewolves
kind of just found them cute. Is that just like
I could want to be friends with them?
Yeah. Like I'm not
I can fix them.
I'm not scared of werewolves.
Yeah, me either. It's never been a fear.
It's never been a fear.
And I find that weird to be the motive there.
And it feels to me like as you read through those taglines, they become increasingly more like notes a psychiatrist is scribbling on his pad, which is very on brand for the film we're going to talk about.
I mean,
which is very much just about poking fun of psychiatry.
Yeah.
So this film is directed and co-edited with support from co-editor Mark Goldblatt, but not written by Joe Dante. This is our first film as well as my first Dante film, although obviously I'm sure not going to be our last. And he actually got his start in editing. So he was a trailer editor for Roger Corman's New World Pictures. Roger Corman is the one who had this kind of like grindhouse B-movie studio that was where a lot of the most beloved, biggest directors of the 80s got their start. And so he was cutting trailers. And so that was a great way to kind of get a feel for the way the Corman industry worked. And it's also where he made his first film, which was in 1976. It's called Hollywood Boulevard. And it's basically a spoof of Roger Corman's New World Pictures all about like a cheesy B-movie studio churning out movies.
I've never seen it before. I mean, obviously I've heard of it, but I've never seen it before.
I haven't either. But the way it was made was that he made a bet with the money guys at New World Pictures. They bet him that he couldn't make a movie in 10 days for $60K. And so he made Hollywood Boulevard in 10 days for $60K.
What?
Yeah. He's a baddie.
That's amazing. Holy shit.
Which again, that's like...
I mean, I guess it's like, fuck you, this is my one... God, I wish we could go back to that in Hollywood. Fucking hell.
That's Roger Corman, like, he's famous for being a penny pincher. He's famous for, like, not always making good stuff. But he's also... He made a dollar stretch so far and gave so many people their first shot that I'm like, we need something kind of like that again. So then in 1978, Joe Dante makes Piranha, which is his like Jaws parody, basically.
God, I forgot that was him.
Yes, have you seen it?
Yes,
I haven't seen it. Is it amazing? I mean, feel like it's got to be hilarious.
I feel like there was such an era of like those films just being kind of like it is what it is.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in forever, but yeah.
So put a pin in Piranha. It's gonna actually play a bigger role as we get into this film, but he then gets brought in uncredited to direct a chunk of Rock and Roll High School when the credited director gets sick. And then goes on after this film to make Gremlins. But so the thing he'd done most recently before this was uncredited directing a chunk of Rock and Roll High School. He then, after Gremlins, makes Inner Space, The Burbs, a couple episodes of Salem, more than a couple episodes of Hawaii Five-0, which I thought was fascinating. Funny. And he's currently listed in development on a project called Little Shop of Halloween Horrors, which, like, yes, please. I have no idea what it is, but based on that title and Joe Dante, I am seated.
Kind of has had all winners, really.
Yeah. So. He's really... I feel like he's found his flavor of filmmaking and has really leaned into it in a way that's exciting to see. But yeah, at the time of this film's release, he's basically just the guy who made Piranha. And that's pretty much all people know him from, because nobody knows he directed a chunk of Rock and Roll High School. This is co-written by John Sayles, who I'm obsessed with. He had worked with Joe Dante on Piranha. He's the one who scripted that.
Okay.
And goes on to a career... From working on things like Piranha, goes on to a career making very highly respected, like, Oscar-y type movies. He wrote and directed Return of the Sea Caucus 7, Brother from Another Planet, Lone Star, Men with Guns, The Secret of Ronan-ish. He's very much an auteur, and it's interesting to see him here as a co-writer. The co-written by credit goes to Terrence Winkless, who did not write with our friend John Sayles. He wrote before John Sayles, and John Sayles came in, rewrote his script, and they still had to give a credit. So just
seen
to
that before.
clear up how that happened.
Yep.
Terrence is a USC film grad who'd been a PA on Dark Star, John Carpenter's. Directed the series Tidewaters, 18 Wheels of Justice, Pacific Blue, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So he's a Power Rangers guy.
I love the Power Rangers.
But most of his credits are directing rather than writing, and the other writing credits that he has are almost universally rated really badly. Like we're talking like 2 or 3 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
Yikes.
So it seems like writing is maybe not really Terrence's thing.
Sure.
It seems like Power Rangers are. Like, I'm like, hell yeah.
Listen, hey.
It is very loosely based on the novel by Gary Brandner.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay, loosely based.
Loosely based.
Got it.
And Gary actually wrote a whole The Howling trilogy. And he goes on to have more direct involvement in the screenplays for some of the sequels, because this film spawns an ungodly number of sequels.
Really? I just saw the second. I thought there were just 2.
Oh no, I think there's 8. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's rivaling, what's his name? Jason.
Yeah. Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
One of the the
Howling,
there's titles, sequels. Yeah, the second one is The Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
Your sister is a hoe.
Your sister is a werewolf. The third owl is The Howling the Marsupials. And it's down under. And the female werewolves have like kangaroo pouches. They have pouches.
Is there a little baby one that... Have you seen... Marsupials are terrifying. We want to talk about things I am afraid of.
They
crawl up into the pouch. Freshly born. You have this flesh nub that just crawls up into the pouch.
Ew.
Like a parasite.
Oh, I hate
So if you want to
that.
talk about actual fear... That one actually might have some credit to have those taglines.
Yeah. Your sister is a werewolf. Good God. So that's where The Howling goes from there.
Yikes.
Let's talk about the cast. We have Dee Wallace back again as Karen White. We obviously covered her this summer because she's in The Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
Where she plays Lynn. She's also a maid in the original Stepford Wives, which I know Al's a Stepford Wives fan.
We gotta do those.
We really
Mother's Day this year.
Oh, that's so good. We could even do like a Stepford Wives back to back, honestly.
Stepford Wives back to back, and not Children of the Corn. I always want to call it the same thing, where the kids have glowy eyes, their white hair.
Village of the Damned.
Village of the Damned. I always want to tell them. I always want to call them Children of the Corn.
Oh my God!
For some reason. So
Children of the Damned. Village of the Corn.
Yeah. So good. I love her.
She's amazing. She's also Mary in E.T., Donna in Cujo, the landlady in The House of the Devil, Marie in Jeepers Creepers Reborn, and Kelly in this year's If It Bleeds. So she's still working, which we love.
And doing horror.
And still doing horror, yeah. We have Patrick McNee as George Wagner. He is Sir Dennis in This Is Spinal Tap. Yeah. Sir Wilfrid in Waxwork. Machiavel in the 1989 adaptation of Mask of the Red Death. John Steed in the 60s and 70s Avengers and New Avengers series. And he's young Jacob Marley in the 1951 Christmas Carol.
Marley.
Dennis Dugan as Chris Howard. He's Doug in Happy Gilmore and Happy Gilmore 2.
Nice.
He's in a few episodes of Moonlighting, and then he has a string of bit parts in like Knott's broad comedies. So he's in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. He's in Jack and Jill. He's in Grown Ups. He's in Don't Mess with the Zohan. A bunch of titles that I have not thought about for over a decade.
Those are a time.
Truly. What a time capsule. We have Christopher Stone as R. William Neal, and Stone and Dee Wallace had just gotten married in 1980. They were engaged at the time they were on the set. We're going to talk about that. And he also appears opposite his wife again as Steve in Cujo.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, the mustache guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How funny.
And he also has a long TV career. He's Bill on Days of Our Lives, Chris in The New Lassie. He's in The Bionic Woman, Dallas, Junkman. So a lot of that kind of like era of TV. Belinda Belaski. What a name.
Yeah.
Belinda Belaski as Terry Fisher. She's a Joe Dante regular, actually. So she's Betsy in Piranha, Mrs. Harris in Gremlins, and she pops up briefly in
Yeah.
So many faces in this film that are just like, who was that person?
I was fighting to go on IMDb. I looked once on IMDb.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember who it was for?
It was the guy, Cujo.
Oh, yeah.
Him. Yeah.
Let's see.
He was not who I thought he was, though. He looked, I can't remember. We've covered a film and he looked exactly like an actor, and I can't think of what film it was.
So Belinda, she's also in the original Charlie's Angels. She was in Baywatch.
Oh, she's that girl.
Yeah, she's that girl. Damn. Yep. And then we have Robert Picardo as Eddie Quist. He comes back to work with Joe Dante again as the cowboy in Inner Space. Oh. He's the garbage man in The Burbs, Forster in Gremlins 2, the rabbi in Hail Caesar, Dr. Zimmerman in Star Trek Voyager, and the impeccably named Dr. Dick Richard in China Beach.
Oh my God.
Dick Richard.
Amazing. Wow.
We have Kevin McCarthy as Fred Francis. This is another recurring figure in our canon. This is our third film with him because obviously he was in both the 56 and 78 Body Snatchers. Yep. Dr. Miles in the first, Running Man in the second. And he's Biff Loman in Death of a Salesman, Dr. Robert in Piranha, so another Dante regular. He's RJ Fletcher in Weird Al's UHF, which I love.
Trav's happy about that one.
Yes. He's Uncle Walt in the Twilight Zone movie, Victor in Inner Space, Ray's boss in The Burbs, and he also appears on the Weird Al show. So across the board, he's just a very frequent Joe Dante Weird Al collaborator, which, like, what a pairing.
He's so great.
John Carradine as Earl Kenton. He's Cassius in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Casey in Grapes of Wrath, Hatfield in Stagecoach, Leo and Peggy Sue Got Married, and in a fun little shout out to last episode, he narrated the 1972 adaptation of Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
Yeah, cool. Which I forgot existed.
Yeah, there's a few I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And rounding us out, we have Slim Pickens as Sam Newfield.
I'm so glad you brought up this person because I was like, Slim Pickens.
Yes, he's incredible. Couple of the things that I know him most for, he's in Blazing Saddles, where he's phenomenal. And he is the one riding the bomb in Dr. Strangelove. That's him.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, the one like waving his cowboy hat as he goes down.
That makes so much sense. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course a guy named Slim Pickens
is course. Yeah, he
playing that role.
He like started out as a real cowboy, became a TV cowboy, and John Sayles had like written this dialogue with kind of Slim Pickens in mind, and apparently when Slim Pickens got the script, he was like, "This dialogue fits me like a glove."
Stop. What a life.
I know. What a character.
Yeah.
Truly a larger than life figure. So all in all, this is a very much like a who's who of B movies at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which very much feeds into Joe Dante's kind of like self-aware meta humor style. And John Sayles actually has a cameo himself, our screenwriter. He is, remember when they go into the morgue and there's the morgue attendant who's like cracking jokes the whole time? That's John Sayles. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. God, that was a good scene, too.
He was great. Yeah. I was like, my God, normally a screenwriter doesn't have this good comedic timing on screen, but he nailed it.
Yeah.
So I told you Roger Corman has a cameo in this, and it's such a good one. At the very beginning, when Karen is in the phone booth, he's the guy who's waiting outside.
Yeah.
And comes in, and he's like counting out change.
Yeah.
And there's two things about that are funny. One of which is that the change counting is an in-joke about him being such a penny pincher with his movies. The second of which is that it's a reference to William Castle's outside the phone booth cameo in Rosemary's Baby.
Oh my, shut up.
Isn't that cute? Like the deep cuts on deep cuts.
That's really good. That's really good. That's funny.
It's amazing. We also have Forrest J. Ackerman, who co-created Vampirella, was the literary agent for the likes of Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov, and was the founding editor of the magazine Famous Monsters of Filmland.
Jesus Christ.
Shows up as a guest in the occult bookstore holding a copy of his own magazine. Adorable.
God, this film is stuffed.
Yeah.
Stuffed with like Easter eggs and shit.
Especially the number
icons.
of like visual gags on screen. Did you catch like the can of Wolf Chili?
Oh yes, I did. Oh
Wolf
yes,
Chili,
I did.
Howl. One of the books that he's reading is by an author whose last name is Wolf. Like it's just it's everywhere.
Oh,
it's everywhere.
It's amazing. They must have had so much fun making those props.
And the film's production designer, who we're going to come back around to because he's also a recurring character, shows up as one of the porn store patrons.
Of course.
We love.
Wouldn't you? God, that's where they were like, we cut on the budget because we don't have to pay anyone to be a
Literally.
extra or find extras.
Yeah. And
oh my god.
Before we even move out of the cast section, like again, this film is so
it's beefy. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's beefy like a can of Wolf Brand.
Yeah.
Basically, all of the characters are named after B-movie directors who made wolf movies. So, John Carradine's Earl Kenton is named after Earl Kenton, who made Isle of Lost Souls, House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein.
Damn.
George Wagner is named after the man who made Wolfman and Man-Made Monster. Terry Fisher is named for Terence Fisher, who's a Hammer Films director who made The Curse of Frankenstein, the 1958 Dracula, and Brides of Dracula. R. William Neal is Roy William Neal, who directed Spider-Woman and a bunch of the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes films.
Jesus.
Fred Francis is named after the director of Son of Dracula, the 1972 Tales from the Crypt, and Fred Francis was also the cinematographer for The Elephant Man, Cape Fear, and The Straight Story.
Oh, shit.
Wild career. So, like, B-movie director, A-movie cinematographer.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Weird.
And weirdly, because I was like, okay, so all of these characters are named after directors. Yeah. Who is our werewolf, Eddie Quist, named after? And so I looked up Eddie Quist, filmmaker. This was so spooky. There is a filmmaker named Eddie Quist who's releasing pretty spooky looking work.
Okay.
But he was not around at the time the movie was made because he was born in 1976 and so was 5 years old. Just like happened to be named Eddie Quist.
Prophesized.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? So
he now makes wolf movie now.
Yeah. God, if only. Yeah.
Spooky.
So
that's not a common name.
No, right?
And to like actually be someone.
Yeah. When I was thinking about that, I was like, why is he
what are the
named
chances?
Eddie Quist? The closest guess that I could make is
Oedipus.
God, if only.
Quist.
There's a character. That's actually not a bad guess. It's possible. There's a character in The Turn of the Screw named Peter Quint, and I was like, Quint, Quist. Maybe there's something there, but like I can't think of anything, y'all.
Yeah.
If you know what Eddie Quist is named after, write in. I guess. Otherwise, we're going with Oedipus.
Yeah, it's wild. You would do that many Easter eggs and
not that one, right? That's why I was like, there's got to be one there, right?
I wonder if that's like an inside joke that we don't know about. You know, like someone on the crew or I don't know.
I want to know. Joe Dante, tell us. So, how does this film come to be?
Yeah.
Our story starts in 1980. So, like, before production.
God.
Yeah, they had a much easier time getting off the ground.
Yeah, no shit.
With a man named Stephen Lane, who at the time owns a little chain of theaters on the West Coast and is a big fan of horror movies. Stephen King, obviously, is one of his favorites, and he actually goes on to produce an adaptation of King's The Lawnmower Man later. So he becomes a producer of King movies. Okay. So when he sees a copy of Gary Brandner's novel, The Howling, with a blurb on the cover from Stephen King recommending it, he gets intrigued.
Bingo.
And so I brought in a quote from him in Cinefantastique where he says, "I'd been thinking for some time about trying to get into film production, and I decided rather naively to try and buy the rights to a book and make a film based on it."
Oh, well,
so that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's like, this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
Problem is, the rights are already spoken for. Warner Brothers has had them for 2 years and done absolutely nothing with them. And so Lane goes to Warner Brothers to try and convince them to let him option the project. But it turns out that the very same week that he'd gone to Warner Brothers, they had just sold the rights to a man named Jack Conrad. And instead of getting deterred, he's like, okay, so I've got to go into business with Jack Conrad then.
Genius.
Goes out, hunts down Jack Conrad, teams up with him. And Jack is much more interested in the filmmaking side of things than the business side. So they're like, okay, Jack's going to direct, I'll produce, this will be great. Famous last words.
Sure.
They then take the project to Avco Embassy Pictures, which is where it ends up landing. It's an indie production company that's kind of looking for projects that'll give them a chance to compete with some of the big studios. They do a lot of Carpenter work. So they're the ones who did The Fog. They go on to do Escape from New York. It kind of makes sense that they'd be looking for projects like this. But apparently Conrad doesn't get along with the studio and gets fired. Lane stays on mostly in name only, but goes on to become the person who controls the IP for all of the sequels. So the Howling, the Marsupials, Lane's doing.
Oh, shit. Smart.
Yeah. And it's also just like, this is how those weird sequels get made, is the rights end up in the hands of somebody who like wasn't actually even really involved in the production of the first one.
Damn.
And then with Conrad gone, Avco basically scraps all the work that the previous team had done and starts over.
Sure, of course.
So then Terrence Winkless comes in, takes a stab at it, and his work also mostly gets tossed. He still ends up with a co-writer credit, but basically he tried to adapt the book more directly.
Sure.
And so then Joe Dante comes on board. Dante has already worked with Sayles on Piranha, brings Sayles in himself. They kind of basically are a package deal at this point, it seems like. And they work together to really bring out the satire and humor in the project. That's what John Sayles hones in on. He's like, there's been a ton of werewolf films. What can we bring to it that's new? Here's a great quote from Dante on the adaptation process. He says, one guy tried to adapt the book and it wasn't really working. That's when I hired John Sayles. He wrote this picture after Piranha in 1978, and he wrote Alligator, which is from 1980, and The Howling together at the same time in the same hotel room. You'd knock on the door and he'd ask who it was, and you'd tell him either The Howling or Alligator, and he'd slip the appropriate pages through the door.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that.
John Sayles, what a wild guy.
Just churning it out.
Yeah. Well, and he talks about, like, you could hear, like, the typewriter, like, cranking because he'd had the wrong one in the...
Just cigarette smoke probably billowing out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Every surface has a cigarette on it. Cigarette butt. God.
And John Sayles goes on to say they basically keep the monster from the novel and toss out literally everything else. They're like, okay, we're keeping kind of the way the werewolf functions in this story. Nothing else is going to work.
Okay. Jesus.
So that's like, it's not even really worth getting into the novel apart from that, because
it's just not.
That's all that came from it, is just the
werewolf.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So the Cinefantastique article that I'll be quoting a lot from throughout this episode posits that this film is Joe Dante's, quote, closest approximation to commercial Hollywood standards, which I think is really interesting for the guy who goes on to make Gremlins, which again I haven't seen.
Was that written at the time of this coming out?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm
I need
wondering
to go
if
back and check. It's possible,
because I'm like, damn, you can't watch Gremlins and not and say that sentence.
And especially since Gremlins was about 11 mil. This is not 11 mil. We'll get there. Which I imagine that's probably closer to what yours cost, but interesting.
Long pause.
Great. So meanwhile, Sayles gets interested in the idea of having the werewolf be a metaphor for the id, because he was a psych major in school and is like, okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of stupid stuff happening in the field of psychology right now that I want to poke fun at.
Yeah.
And most of all, the then extremely popular idea that all mental health issues stem from repression. And so he's like, well, that's dumb. So what if we take a wild pendulum swing to the other side and go, what would happen if we just did whatever came to our mind all the time? And that's what a werewolf is. And this is how I get to make it all just an analog for how bad the psychiatric industry is in 1980.
Jesus. Oh, God.
Let's see. And it's something that both Sayles and Dante talk a lot about, that I imagine is something that your director shares in common, is a belief that when you stuff a horror movie with humor, you have people more comfortable and more off guard for when the scares come, so that then they can hit them harder because they're not desensitized to it, essentially. So, moving into production. Again, what a shockingly easy route forward this film had compared to so many others.
I'm like gagged, especially with all the kind of turnover and changes and things that happen. I'm like, what was something happening every single day?
Yeah, apparently. Like, again, we've gone through, 3 screenwriters at this point?
Yeah.
And it's still in the same year that the film was bought and then made.
That's
all of this
actually
happens.
has me gagged.
Yeah. So, do you want to take a guess at what the production budget was? We've kind of hinted a little bit.
I'm like $5 million on the dot? No. Lower. 2 million?
1.7.
No way.
Isn't that insane?
That's
unbelievable.
Actually insane.
What Rob Bottin pulled off? Like,
everyone. I think honestly these look
equal.
Equal.
Yeah. And I
really
know
do.
yours had to be I'm sure more than
Mine
10
has
times.
no names though too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, more than 10 times. But I think they look visually.
Yes, they're really comparable.
So insane to me because I'm like, where did the budget go on mine?
I mean, the Piccadilly Circus scene.
No, we have a thing about that. I don't think it did.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much they paid for it, but I don't think it did.
Fascinating.
Because John Landis he does things.
What a guy. There's no way that was miniatures, was it?
No.
Okay.
No. It was actually the circus, but they did build a set for it too.
Okay, that makes sense.
But not to jump ahead. The forest scenes, are those or am I getting too ahead?
It's basically all on location.
Oh, those are locations.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They remind me so beautifully of Sleepy Hollow.
I agree. Yeah, and I think a lot of it is the lighting style. Like it's so
I thought they were
stylized that it looks like it's a soundstage.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, those forest scenes were incredible. That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, what the fuck?
Isn't that like I truly...
You're not gonna guess my budget. There's just no way.
Well, that's why when I said that Gremlins was 11 mil, I was like, that's probably closer to Al's film,
it is
right?
Not.
Jesus Christ.
It's not.
But yeah, it really makes the werewolves all that much more impressive when you realize
he was like, I'm 21, I gotta fucking do this shit and prove
like,
myself.
Holy shit, they made this with a potato and a dream. Like, my God. Okay, put that on a t-shirt.
A potato and a dream. That's what I'm living off of right now.
Seriously. That's what I made my movie off of, a potato and a dream. So this film shoots for about 28 days principal photography, and then it also has 3 days of special effects reshoots. We'll get back to those because it does. I don't know. I wasn't able to find enough information to be really precise about what chunk of the 1.7 was for those 28 days and what chunk was for the reshoots. Yeah. I would guess that the reshoots were probably like $300K.
Sure.
Like
that
300 or 400.
Depending on what they did. Yeah.
If I had to make a guess, but that is me guessing. That is not a figure from a source. So cast and crew. I want to take a moment here to say we need some justice for Dee Wallace because Dee Wallace and her collaborators in their interviews looking back on the film later, because obviously this goes on to be a cult favorite. There's all of these sequels. Yeah. Dee Wallace goes on to be like a horror convention queen. They kind of all make clear in interviews looking back on it that Dee Wallace is a method actor, but nobody calls it that. And that's really interesting to me because instead how they talk about it is like, oh, Dee was really sensitive and she couldn't tell the difference between herself and her character.
They just thought she was a dummy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this
even
bimbo.
Dee herself, she's like, I didn't know how to keep that line separate. And so I just thought that all these things were really happening to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't like method acting. I think it's silly, but the fact that everybody's talking about this, like she didn't know what she was doing.
Wild.
And you know that if she were a guy, it would have been like, oh, he's doing the Brando technique.
I was going to say, I forget which actress I just watched an interview, but they were talking about the privilege of being a method actor and how it's like comes with
men.
Like,
yeah.
And I forget
read that
which.
too, and now I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's someone like
it's someone amazing.
I know, like, is it like Mia Goth? I don't remember if she said it or not, but yeah, it's definitely a privilege.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it was a guy, they wouldn't be saying. They'd be like, oh, it's so funny.
Yeah,
they were so funny.
Looking back on it, Dee's talking about how she was like being silly and actory, and I'm like, oh my God, what a double standard.
Yeah, truly.
And like, again, I do think the method is silly and actory, but like it wouldn't be talked about that way if she were a man.
Men don't get the word silly thrown at them.
Exactly. And rarely actory, even when they're being it. So as I mentioned, Dee and Christopher Stone are engaged, but they hid this when Christopher was auditioning for the part because they had been trying to cast Dee's husband with no success, couldn't find the person. Yeah. But she knows that they're not going to want to pick her actual partner. So she pretends to not super duper know who she is. And like he's just somebody that she's run into at auditions, and she's like, oh, there's this man Christopher, what's his last name? Anyway, I think his number is this.
Genius. And they were like,
sends him in, he auditions, he does fantastically, gets the part. The director calls the next day to let Christopher know that he got the part. She picks up.
And he's like, oh, wow.
And he's
I'm
like,
a matchmaker.
She picks up and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I must have called the wrong number. And she's like, no, you didn't.
Oh my God. I thought she was going to play assistant.
Oh my God, imagine. She's like, no, we're engaged. And Joe
God.
Dante's like, oh God, what have I done? You're going to gang up on me. He's like, yeah.
Sensitive much?
He's like, oh no, the two of you are going to gang up on me. And she's like, no, it's going to be great. We're going to work together so well. And you only have to get us one trailer.
Oh my God, stop. She's like, I'm saving you money. Don't
Yeah.
you love that?
Like, Dee,
That's
what a
amazing.
genius. She really finessed
that.
her way through that.
I love
It's
that.
incredible. So,
Sneaky.
let's see. Oh my gosh, this is a partially upsetting but also partially funny story.
Okay. Oh no.
So, I'm so sorry.
No. There's animals in this film. I don't want to know.
Oh no, not that kind of upsetting. It's I feel upset on Dee Wallace's behalf. But so Dante and the team have this idea, much like in yours, that when werewolves transform, they lose their clothes.
Yeah.
But they don't tell Dee about this. And so she comes up to film like the major transformation scene with all of the werewolves. And as she describes it, there are 10 women there with their boobs hanging out. And she's like, I will not film. I refuse. Really? I will not go on camera.
Oh my gosh.
And it's interesting because watching her interviews looking back, it comes across genuinely as both a combination of discomfort with like bodies, you know,
sure.
but it also comes across like there's a part of her that's artistically disagreeing because as she points out, all of the crew are laughing. And she's like, if you've got a crew of men in 1980 with 10 women with their tits out and the crew are laughing, then you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Then it's too silly.
Yeah.
And so she's refusing to shoot.
That's so true. Yeah. You would think they'd just be like silent.
Yeah, just like having a good time. Yeah. And so the executives get called up. They drive in a huff, storm onto the set, ready to yell at Dee Wallace, take one look around and go, oh no, she's right. You've got to take this down. This is too much.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so we do not get that version of the scene. So in the end, Dee Wallace was vindicated.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
For them to like take her serious again. Take her seriously in that moment.
It's pretty impressive. So
good for her.
Yeah. Damn. So I feel bad that it kind of feels like they tried to trick her a little bit, but she was vindicated in the end.
She's like, okay, fuck you. You're wrong.
Dee won. And Robert Picardo, our main villain, our baddie, jokes about how he was feeling really sorry for himself at one point sitting in the makeup chair because it took 6.5 hours to get it all done. And he was trained at the Yale Drama School. But apparently the training paid off for his audition because when he came in to read, they had him do the scene in the porn booth where he's behind Dee Wallace. And he was the one who had the idea of coming up behind the actor and forcing her to stay seated in her chair, holding his hands down on her while he stood standing behind her. And he creeped out everybody who was there for the audition so much, he basically got the part on the spot.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, his voice is great in that moment too.
Also, his I want to give you a piece of my mind line. ADR improv.
Really?
Yeah. Joe Dante was watching it back and was like, I feel like there should be a line here. The face is turned away from the camera so we can throw in whatever we want. Sure. And Robert kind of jokingly is like, what if, because I'm about to pull out a chunk of my head, what if I say, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind? And Joe Dante's like, okay. And Robert's like, oh, he liked that?
That's so funny. I love how like some of the like iconic lines are just improv.
It's so satisfying when you hear that, and especially like, thank God the director trusted him. You know, like yes, that did need to be exactly what Eddie Quist says. He's got a sense of humor. God damn it,
silly boy.
So cinematography is by John Hora, who clearly is a Joe Dante go-to, although kind of in an unusual way. He shot segment 3 of the Twilight Zone movie with Joe Dante. He did Gremlins. He did Gremlins 2. He shot the Smooth Criminal video for Michael Jackson.
Oh, funny.
DP'd several other projects, including Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Hey!
Which I feel like I remember that's an Al fave. Am I correct?
There was, it was like the writer that I had for one of my films. They wrote like every single on the TV show and everything. Yeah. But only does additional photography on the Burbs with Dante and acts in rather than shooting inner space. So I guess they just like working together in whatever form it takes, which I thought was quite sweet.
And the porn film that shows obviously couldn't be a real porn clip.
Yeah.
So they instead, Joe Dante shoots his own fake and very upsetting hardcore scene.
Put a pin in that for mine.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, we love a porn tid. And he jokes about how he kind of thought that it would be fun to shoot a fake porn, but that it ended up really creeping him out, and he felt terrible about it afterwards, and felt kind of gross, which kind of makes me like him a little more.
Yeah, he was like, "This will be fun." No, it's not. Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun. Did not like that. Yeah. And then they distressed it themselves by first scratching up the print and then dragging it behind a truck to make it look like it had been run through a porn shop projector like thousands of times.
That's fun.
Isn't that satisfying? That's really fun. Yeah. I love the image of them just like, let's fuck this shit up.
Yeah, let's drag this behind a truck.
This was part of it was shot on a soundstage, so it's possible that some of those exteriors are, but I know the vast majority of it was shot A in Griffith Park and B in Mendocino, which is where most of the not the coven, what's it called? The
cult?
Yeah, the cult, where the wolf cult is. Yeah. So DP Horror used backlit fog as a point of consistency to help tie the stage and the real world together. And they actually did fog up exteriors too, which is pretty impressive.
That's why I thought it was
you think it's a soundstage.
Yeah. Because I was like, man, that fog's really holding back there. So.
No, it's I found an interview with Horror talking about like, oh my God, those poor PAs, I had them like running through the woods with a fog machine. And they've got footage of it too.
How fun.
And I love this. Camera motion and frame rates were also really important to how they pulled off the special effects shots. Ooh. So, for one thing, Joe Dante points out that he likes to keep the camera moving whenever there's a special effects sequence going on, especially when he's shooting things like puppets or marionettes that don't move on their own, to try and give it more of that illusion of life. But secondly, during the transformation, they used shots with varying frame rates. So for pieces of the transformation, they would drop the frame rate, from 24 to 12 to make the motion go supernaturally fast. And then for werewolf drool moments, they would increase the frame rate to make the drool stretch slower. That also helps... it makes it feel much more forgiving to the special effects, because your brain kind of can't quite get a hold on what it's seeing.
Because sometimes it goes like the chest was going a little bit faster.
Exactly. And because it never quite settles into a rhythm, you're always sort of off balance with it, which I thought was
so smart,
genius. And really, like, so much of this film is this delicate balance between the camera and the special effects and the sound working together. And one of the areas that I thought was especially cool with that is that obviously both of these films are latex heavy. That's what all of the special effects are made out of. And latex has a breaking point.
Yep.
But nobody knows exactly when the latex is going to break, especially because, again, this is kind of... the art form is still growing.
Oh, yeah,
at this
for
point.
sure.
These guys are the ones who are learning what latex can do to a large extent.
So cool.
And so they would often do what Joe Dante describes as kind of pushing things to the breaking point.
Sure.
So where, like, as we're going to get to in a second, they use air bladders.
That's what mine uses too.
And so they would have like these like latex bubbles essentially inflating like on Eddie Quist's shoulder until one of them will like pop.
Yeah.
And they'll keep shooting when that happens. But they realized that by adding sound effects over those moments,
it made it like unintentional.
Yeah, they could make these things that were actually the makeup getting pushed to the breaking point and failing seem like gnarly body horror moments.
Put a pin in that, because I have a latex kind of thing with mine with the stretching and bladders. So
love.
That's so smart though, to be like, we'll just roll with it, because it is so grotesque.
It is
so grotesque.
It feels like it's skin ripping.
Yeah, some of those are. I mean, some of that looks really gnarly.
Yeah,
like actually like sickening.
That was a lot of when I was thinking about like which of these werewolf effects do I prefer. I was like, I feel like they're going for such different things, in that yours really looks like an animal. It really feels like that is a beast. I can imagine how it moves. I can imagine what it feeds on.
Yeah.
And mine feels much more like this like creature of the id that is like, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it's going to look like at any given moment. It just unnerves me.
It's really gross.
It's really
and it's hard
gross.
to be grossed out with as much as we watch. It's just like that one actually got me.
It was especially that first transformation because it stretches so long. You think it's over and then it just like, keeps going. And like his face is bubbling and like breathing and
the little strands of hair were really making me sick.
Very barbarian coated. Like the bottle. Yeah. So special effects. A lot of the info that I have for this comes from the behind the scenes special feature Unleashing the Beast, Making the Howling.
Amazing.
So Rob Bottin, he also gets an associate producer credit on this film, even though he's only 21, because like, I mean,
took on
you
so
don't
much.
have this film without Rob Bottin.
Yeah, no shit.
And so, I think I had mentioned this was not Rob and Dante's first time working together. Rob did the special effects on Piranha.
Shut the fuck up.
And I was like, wait a second.
By
How
himself?
old would he? Yeah.
18.
How old would he have been? 19 at the oldest.
Jesus
18 or 19.
Christ.
Piranha's the first time that Rob got an on-screen credit, but he had been doing uncredited work on Star Wars even before that. So this kid, as a teenager, was like sneaking his way onto the Star Wars set to do special effects.
Take me back to this time. I want to be in the room with those men, fucking around and playing with this shit, man.
Yes.
God.
And so already mentioned that Rob goes on to do The Thing the year after this. What else does he do? He worked on Twilight Zone the movie, Witches of Eastwick.
Yes. Yeah.
Inner Space, RoboCop, Total Recall, Seven, Mission Impossible, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Fight Club.
Yes.
And interestingly,
Was he uncredited in Fight Club, wasn't he?
Oh,
one of them. Never mind.
I thought
I briefly looked at him.
I think I know what you're thinking.
Okay.
Of. Because his most recent title on IMDb is uncredited guest work for a Game of Thrones episode.
Oh, no shit.
Isn't that wild? It's
so
specifically
funny.
the episode The Lion and the Rose, which I was like, oh, that's like the theater logo.
Yeah.
So Rob Bottin, still alive, but has gone into retirement, and it's rumored that a lot of it is to do with CGI. That he was like, everybody's using CGI and the art form isn't being appreciated anymore.
He's worked with Guillermo del Toro.
I know. I'm like, I read that and I was like, God, I hope that the fact that there is a renewed appreciation for practical effects can bring him back one day. Yeah. Because, my God, this man is a genius.
Yeah, somebody bring him back. Please. Please.
Rob is also, in addition to being a genius, as you can imagine, a giant perfectionist.
Oh, God.
To the degree that the first time he's supposed to do the transformation makeup for the werewolf, he takes so long that he wastes the entire day and they don't get to shoot anything because he spends the entire day doing makeup. They go into like double overtime. They go past dinner. And by the time the makeup's done, they're like, we can't. There's no time to shoot anything. We've got to send everybody home.
There's been so many people talking about actors getting makeup done and how, like, I think even like Frankenstein was like 10 hours he would have to sit. And people are like, do you really have to sit 10 hours? And then how long do they shoot for?
Yeah.
But
like
here's an
hour
instance.
A day.
Yeah, here's an instance where it was so long they couldn't even shoot.
Happens.
Oh, well, man, you don't hear about that a lot.
A typical film set day is 12 hours, and then there's a lot of shows that go into overtime. I believe it's Travis. Do you know? It's either 16 or 17 hours. You're not like legally allowed to go past, but now I can't remember which. I forget. But unfortunately, it still happens. Yeah, as we all know. But
he's like 20 hours doing makeup. He's like.
He's like, it's not quite there yet.
God, I can't imagine, but you do get in like such a, especially on set, it's such a weird, the time does not exist.
Well, and especially for something like this where you're stepping into Rick Baker's shoes on this project that like he has recommended you for and been like, this kid can take over from me. You're going to want to show your stuff.
Yeah.
And so on that perfectionist note, because of both time and budget, because again, 1.7 mil, what the fuck are you going to do? during most of the werewolf fight scenes, while they were shooting them in principal photography, Rob had basically only built heads and hands for the wolves.
Oh, shit.
Which, like, that's a genius way to save costs when you think about it, is, like, shoot it all in close-up and just build those parts. And so that's what they did, but they go back, watch the footage, and are like, there's just not the sense of scale that we need with it all being close-up. So they take it to the production company with those scenes and beg them, give us enough money to come back and reshoot with a guy in a suit. Because they had initially tried a guy in a suit before deciding to scratch that. Let's just do the heads and hands. And Bottin described it as looking like a giant chipmunk. And so they're like, well, can't do that.
No.
And they're like, okay, we need money to build a non-chipmunk suit. So they get money, build a non-chipmunk suit, and get those 3 days of reshoots. And that's what that is actors interacting with full-scale wolf. I mean, I also, I have a full-scale wolf image.
It reminds me of Peach Fuzz from
It does look like Peach Fuzz. Yeah.
Dude, these suits are so fucking sick.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow, that's a really cool image.
So
that was so worth the reshoots, because man, those things look fucking cool.
And there's a couple other things that, as they were planning this, I imagine this is going to be another crossover. They specifically wanted to avoid things that other werewolf movies had used. One of which is, like, in werewolf movie history, the way you show a transformation is through lap dissolves, where the actor freezes in place. You do a dissolve to the actor coming back with more makeup done, then you do a dissolve to the actor coming back with more makeup done. And it's amazing.
But it's everyone kind of knows that look.
You know what the trick is, too. And as Joe Dante points out, the thing that he didn't like about that is you can't move. And he wanted the werewolf to be moving as it's changing, and boy, does Bottin deliver. But because of that, they go to the production company and they're like, this is going to be the first werewolf movie to use no time lapse. Everything is going to happen mechanically in front of the camera. And thus we get the humble air bladder. So what is an air bladder? We've talked about it before on The Exorcist and The Thing, and I'm sure you're going to cover them as well. Basically, it's like a bubble with tubing to deliver air, and it's air or liquids, and it's usually made of latex. They can kind of shift, expand, grow, pop if you push them too far. Pulse. And on this movie, 3 guesses as to what they used. It's condoms. Of course they use condoms. Oh, really? Yeah, all of the air bladders are condoms.
Oh my god.
So that's how Rob Bottin does it so cheap.
We did not use condoms. Not on my side.
It's just like only actual bladders.
Yeah, real human bladders. Harvested bladders.
Yep. Humanely harvested.
Yeah, very expensive.
And one of the most horrifying things about this, particularly thinking about the shape, if you're using condoms for your air bladders, is that for one of the scenes where they had them kind of wrapped around Robert Picardo's throat, it expanded and constricted so tightly that it would make his eyes pop, which is part of what you're seeing there, and he'd have to stay completely still to keep it from choking him.
That's, no thank you.
Yeah. And so
God, choked to death by condom.
Literally, what a way to go. On your first major film. Yale trained. 6.5 hours of makeup for this.
Yale alum choked to death on werewolf movie by condom.
How I want
by condom bladder.
Yes.
Yikes.
Cheap condom bladder. And going back to the they'd push things until they explode thing, Joe Dante has a great quote about this, where he says that, quote, "A little bladder goes a long way. We were bladder but wiser when we finished."
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Joe. Take a seat.
How dare you? How dare you?
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so transformation itself. Let's get into it. Here's a quote from Bottin. Quote, "What I did was put Bob Picardo through an all-day casting session, making 5 full cast heads, a terrible experience for him, and made all these face studies. rather than making the wolf on Bob's face, I made it from his face. That may sound like the same thing, but I was taking Bob's features and distorting them, making them animalistic. I looked for characteristics in his face that could be frightening to me and exaggerated them. I thought, well, maybe his nose would go up first, looking something like a pig's, and then would grow out from there. And then what should the next step be? I had to guess, and I really wanted every step to be fresh. I'd do sculptures and then show them to my friends, and if they reminded anyone of Island of Dr. Moreau or Planet of the Apes, I'd start over.
Oh, funny.
Fucking perfectionist.
Wow.
The nails,
Yes.
I imagine this is similar to how yours were done. They had hollow hands with cable-controlled nails that could emerge from the paw, so it got nicknamed the stiletto nail effect, like stiletto blades, which I thought was very cute. Similarly for the fangs, they had this like...
Those were so cool.
Oh my god, it's amazing. They had like a mechanical device in the actor's mouth with a tongue-activated lever that they would have to like pull on with their tongue while snarling. But because of that, they could only shoot it from very specific angles to hide the tongue lever.
That makes sense because they're all kind of like up.
Yeah, exactly. They have this like very specific pose.
It looks very uncomfortable for the actors.
Absolutely,
you couldn't close your mouth with those teeth in.
God,
but they look good.
And then they go into from there the chango heads, which is Rick Baker's design.
Oh, yeah.
That I wonder if he used on yours too. It's basically...
I'm assuming probably everything you're talking about because I don't go super... Like, I feel like you're covering a little bit more of how to do stuff. I'm just going to say copy paste over to mine.
I figured
I'm pretty sure most of it's the same.
I kind
of started the design of things and then left.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. A lot of the basics were his, at least suggestions.
Yeah.
So it was a series of 3 animatronic sculpted wolf heads that it could each do different kinds of things for different stages in the snout transformation. Also, a quick note on Dee Wallace's suspiciously Wookiee-ish looking werewolf.
Yeah.
Both she and Joe Dante wanted her wolf to look notably different than the others to suggest this idea that she's fighting that id, that she's trying not to give into the base instincts. But that shot, her final transformation, was shot the day before the official film prints of the movie were made in Joe Dante's own office in a tight close-up since there was no money for a proper
Is that why
set.
it's just like, meh?
Yeah, that's why she's just like, oh!
Yeah, what's
and
that little, what is it? That little, like, meme of that little fluff dog.
Oh my god,
do you know what I'm talking about? Where just he looks like this?
Yeah.
Why did she look exactly like that?
Side by side here.
Yeah. Can we do a side by side? It wasn't great, but I do get why she looked different. It's because she looked so sad and like she didn't want to be.
She doesn't want to be transformed.
Like
she's fighting
Shih Tzu.
it. Yeah, she really does.
She's like, I'm not a wolf, I'm a puppy.
I'm a Wookiee. There were also going to be rocket werewolves.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
You heard me.
On rockets or they're...
Rocket werewolves, which, okay, so, you know...
Find a space.
You know at the end when they're in the burning barn?
Yes.
There was going to be a shot of werewolves rocketing out of the barn. And they constructed it. Shot it. Why did this not work?
I don't know.
So
I can't imagine why. Tell me, Siena. Unfathomable.
The fact that it got this far, that it was constructed and shot. I mean, first problem, it looks like they were being propelled out by farts. Because you can see the jet is visible, and the jetpack was put in their butts, so it looks like they're
tootin'. Rootin' and tootin'.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wait, so they were gonna fly or they're on rockets? Because my brain is like they're riding a rocket out of this.
They're not riding a rocket. They are the rockets. They are the rockets. Their asses are the rockets.
How did that get worse?
Yeah, it's worse. It's somehow worse.
There's pew out of the...
Just picture like a contrail coming from under the wolf tail. Yeah.
Listen, if they had them like flying around and landing on hoods, kind of like Jeepers Creepers, which you don't know about yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they were like landing on things in the beginning, you're like, where is this werewolf coming from? Sure. Let's rocket these
rocket
motherfuckers
werewolves,
out.
I guess.
But to just have them out of nowhere.
Just for one scene. Just for the hell of it. Just for shits and giggles. Shits and giggles and rocket werewolves.
Jesus
why else? Why else did this not work? Besides that, it looked like the werewolves were farting. They were initially intended to be one of 3 sequences using stop motion, which was done by artist David Allen, who worked on Willow, Ghostbusters 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Batteries Not Included, The Stuff, The Dungeon Master, Twilight Zone, the movie. He is
the best shit
he's
ever.
the stop motion master. He's incredible. And the scenes he made were 1, burning barn jet werewolves, for which they built an entire miniature burning barn set with jet werewolves. 2, Dee Wallace getting chased through the woods. And 3, a small group of werewolves stalking through the clearing. Out of these, the 3rd is the only one that made the final film, and even that you only see near the very end of the movie, superimposed over the cityscape as Dee Wallace is like returning to the city. Driving away from the colony. Yeah. There's like this shot of 3 werewolves howling at the moon. That's stop motion.
Wow. The fact that this makes the budgets all the more impressive too.
I know. The fact that there was all this stuff that they didn't even use too, from like the best in the field. And so in order to shoot these 3 sequences, they had to make these perfectly detailed models down to like tiny little acrylic wolf teeth, using reference footage from actor movements to get the like climbing out of the barn right. And the sequences were then going to be intercut with footage of the full scale wolves. Sure. And that's where things go awry, is after test screenings, people keep coming to them and asking, where was that cool stop motion from? What movie did you get that from? And everybody thinks it looks really cool, but thinks it's from another movie. And Joe Dante is like, fuck, it's not integrating. Because, they have shots from like The Wolfman, shots from cartoons. Right. And so people think it's that. And they love it. But it's like, it's not getting the point across.
Damn, that sucks.
And so they basically just scrap almost everything.
Well, that's good, I suppose.
But as you can imagine, Alan is very sad about this and says, quote, whether the look of stop motion is too different to mix with the live action process, that's a matter of taste. I would have liked to have sat in on the editing for that preview audiences. There were tricks, things I know to do, places to cut. Damn. And he also points out that he was only brought on later in the process after they'd already realized that those full-scale suits weren't working the way they wanted to try and fix the chipmunk problem. And that FX in general are always going to work best when they're integrated from the beginning. So like, very fair, David Allen. Damn. And like, I can so see both sides, because I can imagine it probably didn't edit together better. And also, or didn't edit together well. And also, maybe if you brought in the guy who specializes in that, it would edit together
Give him
better.
like a chance, at least, to be like, hey, I know how to do this. Damn.
Exactly. There are also a couple of close-up shots where what you're seeing are rod puppets, like very giant full-scale puppets controlled by rods. This was a Rick Baker idea before he left work on American Werewolf. And here's a great quote from Joe Dante about that, where he says, quote, by showing pieces of them instead of the whole monster, we pulled it off. Alien was kind of like that. I thought Alien was great until they showed that it was a guy in a suit. Once you saw a person's body, it lost its power. So they tried to do a whole lot of series of close-ups of little wolf chunks, essentially. Which I think is so much of why the special effects in these films stand up against each other, is because mine doesn't have the budget to put the wolf in a full shot for very long. Yours does, and so it lingers on it and shows you every detail of that wolf at one time. 2 different approaches for different budget scales, and I think they each work so well.
Absolutely.
Production design is by Robert Burns, who is now back in his 4th appearance on this podcast as production designer.
Oh my God.
He was the head of production design for Reanimator, Hills Have Eyes, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Jesus Christ.
He is the one who brought the bones from TCN that ended up appearing on the soundtrack of Hills Have Eyes. And
are the bones in this?
Yes, the bones are in this.
Oh my God, the bones make a cameo.
Yeah, the Texas Chainsaw bones are back again.
It was very Texas Chainsaw.
It is.
Cute.
I love that that's Robert Bones' like little signature as PDs. Like there's always gonna be some bones in there. Yes.
Robert Bones.
That reminds me, I think I saw somebody saying that Rob Bottin's nickname was Robot, because Rob Boat.
Oh my God, stop.
Which I thought
That's
was very
so cute.
Yeah. Can't confirm that, but I just shouting it out. I thought it was fun. I imagine that Robert Burns is at least partially possible for some of those like Ginsberg Howl, Wolfcan Chili type of jokes.
Yeah.
And because the porn store scene was shot in a real porn shop, production design had to go in and carefully censor the covers by putting price tags over like the bush and tits. So
that's so funny.
Just a fun little tidbit.
What a fun little job to do that. And you get a sticker, and you get a sticker.
Costumes are by Jack Bueller, who was the wardrobe assistant on Piranha, and then stepped up to costume design Rock and Roll High School. So it worked with Joe Dante on that. Yeah. Black Moon Rising and Cujo. And the score is by Pino Donaggio.
Oh, gosh.
Whose name may ring a bell because he composed Carrie.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. He also did my beloved Don't Look Now, which I really want to cover on the podcast. He composed Piranha. He did Dress to Kill. He did Body Double. He did Seed of Chucky. So the fact that he'd worked on so many De Palma projects is kind of interesting, given that De Palma notoriously is somebody that like only worked with people once.
Right.
And while he's got a long resume, most of his most famous work is in the horror space. So his work here is mostly orchestral. There are some early 80s synths creeping in here and there. But at the time, this is so funny to me, Pino Donaggio did not speak any English.
Oh, wow.
And nobody working on the project spoke any Italian.
Yeah.
So instead they get a Spanish-speaking intermediary to go and talk to him, and neither the intermediary nor Pino is fluent in Spanish. It's not either of their first languages.
Oh my goodness.
And so they talk about it that way. Pino then watches the movie through this like Spanish translator, goes back to Italy, composes the score, and sends it back. And like you can't really send him any notes. What Pino gives you is what you get.
Okay.
And that's it.
Oh my God, I love that. So I would be like, just do your thing.
Yeah,
I don't even need
much.
a translator. Watch the movie.
Exactly. And so like, honestly, Joe Dante kind of lucked out, and he seems pretty happy with it too. And he said that he really liked the organ in particular. That was one of his favorites. It's released on Friday, March 13th. So kind of making it the first in this holy trinity of wolf films that come out that year. And I think because it's the first, it didn't have the same burden that the subsequent films would have being compared to those others in the same year. It's the one that's kind of like setting the tone. And Joe Dante worked really hard to make sure that the ad campaign did not lean too hard on werewolves so that the wolves themselves could be a reveal. Which I think is really smart.
It is like it takes so much longer.
Yeah. And so the poster and the initial marketing was all meant to make it read like an urban, like city slasher until the wolves come out. You can really see.
Very smart.
I thought the poster, especially, you can see the Halloween reference, like doing a side by side of them. It's very
cool.
You can see they're doing a really clever misdirection
Absolutely.
there. Do you want to guess what it makes?
God,
1.7.
Gosh, I'm like just because they all came out around the same time.
But this was before the market was so oversaturated in them because it was the first.
30 million.
Oh, if only. But still, it made 17.9.
Oh, damn.
Out of a 1.7 budget.
Yeah.
Which.
Damn.
And it actually opened.
That's really good.
Yeah. Shit. It's really impressive. And it opened at #1 for the week it came out, which is amazing. Nice. It then drops.
Sure.
Obviously, I didn't look up your film, but for comparison, I looked up Wolfen, since that's the other one. That one cost 10 mil. Or no, made 10 mil, but cost 17. So it seems like this and Wolfen made kind of comparable amounts, but because this cost so much less, it was like respectable box office for the source material, but significantly better returns because they just did it so cheap.
Yeah.
However, Stephen Lane, the one who ends up with the marsupial rights, alleges that Avco Embassy, which was going through a rough financial patch and would later fold, wrote off other expenses to the Howling once it became profitable, and that he therefore never saw profits from it. And I think that's probably true. That's like a very common thing, you know, again, write it all off as marketing costs. And the film, quote unquote, never made money. It goes on to, in a very weird fluke because of timelines, win the Saturn Award for Best Horror Film of 1980, even though it came out in 81.
Interesting. I have some
Appropriately
Saturn Awards
sci-fi,
for,
I guess.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah. I had a feeling yours also did well at the Saturns that year.
Yeah.
Critics are generally on the positive side from the get-go. It currently holds a 76% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but only a 61% from audiences. Which
I thought that would be it feels like it's a cult film.
It feels like it should be the other way around.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that critics liked it more.
I am too. Ebert only gave it a 2 out of 4.
Oh, damn.
But I think it's a pretty representative and surprisingly positive 2 out of 4. And
I love when he does that.
Just one of the funniest Ebert review styles I've ever seen, so I had to bring it in because it's written as a script-style dialogue between him, listed as Uncle Raj, and Gene...
What?
Uncle Raj.
Uncle Raj. He lost his mind on this one.
Oh, yeah. And I have to assume it's Gene Siskel as Little Jimmy discussing the new werewolf picture in town. So,
what?
Yeah. Little Jimmy asks if it's worth seeing, and Uncle Raj responds, quote, "Yes, Little Jimmy, in a sense it is. Ridiculous, yes. Comical at times, yes. Silliest film seen in some time by the Animals movie critics team. But great special effects as men become werewolves. Women, too, before your eyes. Done with, says here, hydraulic, sensational. Little Jimmy, is it worth my money? Uncle Raj, it sure is, Little Jimmy. Says here, worth your money if you get 2 for 1.
What?
He lost his mind. I don't know.
Did he was like, I can't eloquently put this into words today. Yeah. I'm going to do
Yes. I have never seen Roger Ebert phone it in harder than this.
I was going to say, I have a quote from him, but it makes sense. Go hear it.
Yeah. Actually, like, is full sentences in English. Says here, worth your money if you get 2 for 1.
Hey, Little Jimmy.
Yeah. Like Uncle Raj. So basically, like, my attempt to boil that down into something coherent is like, it's silly, but the special effects are considered some of the best in the business. Yeah, again.
God, I would have framed the fuck out of that fucking review.
Oh, I know, same. Even if it's 2 out of 4 stars, I'd be like, fuck yeah, amazing. Ebert lose his mind.
That's so funny.
And so particularly that first transformation sequence is what it's famous for. I have seen people say that one of the things they dislike about it is that it never tops that first transformation sequence. But I also think that's just all werewolf movies. The climax is the first transformation. And everything after that is just kind of like
the movie.
Yeah.
And the story doing its thing. Yeah. I can't tell you one where there's more than one. Where
that's not the case. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'd known going in, was its reputation as being like one of the best transformations.
I was gonna say, the scene around the fire, with the transformation, I feel like Trick or Treat had to have plucked that for the little, like, that whole scene.
Sense.
They had to have. It looks exactly like it.
I love that.
So I'm curious if that was something they pulled directly.
We're rounding the corner here. Reviews from horror-specific publications kind of noticed something more interesting that I wanted to call out, which is that it's ultimately a film really steeped in nostalgia for kind of a simpler time in horror Hollywood, while simultaneously poking fun at the thing that's being longed for, which I think makes it very postmodern.
Yeah.
So David Bartholomew in Cinefantastique especially points to, did you watch through the end of the credits?
Yes.
Where you get that post-credit shot from the Wolfman, where it's like, God help you.
Yes.
David Bartholomew talks about that and says, with Corman into big budgets and Sam Arkoff selling AIP, which is American International Pictures, Dante knows that Hollywood can't go home again except on TV. But it's nice that the Howling has allowed us to visit for a little while. So it's like this like homage to and also mourning the death of like the old like universal horror style Hollywood. There have been, 7 different Howling sequels for a total of 8 films. Again, there's the Marsupials, there's Your Sister's a Werewolf, there's, none of them share characters in common, but they all share Stephen Lane. Stephen had actually bought out his OG Howling team member Jack Conrad's share of the original rights, which is how he became the controlling shareholder. But he does not hold the rights to a sequel to the Joe Dante specific version, since what he had written and what he had the rights to was his original version of the script that was more based on the book, which is why none of those sequels can use the same characters, because those are Joe Dante's and Jonathan Sayles.
Damn.
So basically, it's an anthology by necessity rather than by design. There's a comic book series based on it called The Howling: Revenge of the Werewolf Queen from Space. Revenge of the Werewolf Queen from Space Goat Productions. I apologize.
Okay, I was
Space
like,
Goat
why
Productions
are they
is the name of the
rockets?
company.
Why are they going to space?
Oh my gosh. I mean,
would not
they
be
have the
surprised.
technology. Started its run in 2017.
Oh, wow.
I think it's still going. However, does not end there. In 2020, Netflix announced that Andy Muschietti of It and Welcome to Derry fame would be directing a 9th Howling film.
Oh, shit.
And I was kind of hoping that the project like quietly got put to bed, but it did not. It's happening.
Whoa.
Rue Morgue published an article in May of this year reporting that Guy Busick, the screenwriter from Final Destination Bloodlines, Abigail, Ready or Not, and Castle Rock was hired on to write the script for Muschietti. So it's still happening, and Muschietti's still attached.
Ooh, that's going to be good, though.
Not clear if it's still at Netflix, but it's clearly still in development. So that's something that's on the horizon.
We're going to get news about it today.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen as soon as we finish recording, when we're in the break between episodes. Yeah. However, I think perhaps the most notable influence is that this is the film that gave us Gremlins, because Steven Spielberg saw this film, loved it, and was like, oh, this is who I need to hire for this story.
No way. Oh, I love that.
So he brings over both Joe Dante and producer Michael Fennell for Gremlins.
Damn.
And of course, Dante and Fennell then hide shout-outs to the Howling in Gremlins. And one of the most famous is that there's a smiley face on the fridge door in Gremlins, which is Eddie Quist's mark, his smiley face stickers from the Howling.
No way. Oh my God. I can't wait to watch. I'm watching Gremlins soon.
There's also the character of Lou Landers. Oh, I can't remember who that is, but he appears in both films. So canonically, they happen in the same universe. So Gremlins and the Howling, same world.
Shut up. Oh my God, I love that so much.
Isn't that so satisfying? I'm looking at my watch notes to see if there's anything that feels like it needs to be shouted out. Yeah.
So good.
There were parts of Dee Wallace's character arc that reminded me a little bit of like proto Clarice Starling vibes, with her like, I'm going to track down this serial killer. From Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. I thought there were some interesting parallels there. Also just shout out that opening on the TV static with that audio collage of news is such a great way to let you know that basically the whole film is a parody of how bad we are at consuming news responsibly.
I was going to say that part, the opening, and then that wrap around to the end of people being like, wow, special effects these days. And I'm like, it's the 80s. How are they being that fucking meta about it?
That, again, it's so fucking postmodern. That would eat now. It would be funny and fresh today.
Yeah, it kind of, I was like, were people, was that something where
it like feels like it's a fake news joke.
And then I was just like what just a like devastating end that they did this. He had a shooter, it had to happen on live TV, all this stuff for no one to even believe it.
Yeah, special effects these days, makeup.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought the audio stopped.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it was. I was not expecting that ending to that, and I was like,
oh
God,
it's so
everyone's so
heartbreaking,
unfazed. And they really thought that they were like, they were gonna save everybody.
And then the closing credits being over a hamburger cooking, like just
the most disgusting hamburger
I wasn't able to verify this, but I saw somebody say that after they finished shooting, the hamburger apparently just immediately fell apart, which like,
it was on its way.
Yeah.
It was
falling apart on camera.
Yeah. That was God, I love like a weird closing, the credits going over like weird images.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised too, because around that time, like we see such abrupt ends and things are freeze framed or whatever. So to have this like movement behind,
it was kind of surprising.
Yeah, it was gross. I loved it. So
you liked it?
Yeah, it was fun. It was just so different. But yeah, the makeup, holy shit,
it was incredible. And again, for $1.7 million,
that's boy, oh boy.
Rob Bottin, come back. We need you.
Please. We gotta see if he's on Instagram. And
just
bug him. Everybody bug him.
Well,
isn't there a rumored Gremlins 3?
I feel like I did see a rumor about that.
Yeah,
Maybe
so I'm like, oh my God, bring him
That'd
back.
be amazing.
Yeah, so.
Speaking of Instagram, shout out to the fact that Doug Jones confirmed
Oh my God.
that he is in fact a MILF.
Yeah, so if everyone listened to our last episode,
Yes!
me and Siena went on a tangent about calling him mommy MILF mother, and he called us a couple of sillies.
And I have been riding that high ever
We should
since.
make t-shirts for ourselves.
Yes,
and it's
Doug
just
Jones
him.
is a MILF.
Yeah, and then it's just on the back, it's him confirming.
Yes! Screenshots, receipts.
What a gem.
I adore it. And it was like
gem.
half an hour after we posted it, too.
Yeah.
Like, he saw it immediately.
Yeah, it's so cute. So, love him. Love you.
Yeah, what a good egg.
Truly.
Yeah.
We made the right one. The right one's famous.
Truly. Shall we take a break and come back to some more wolves?
Yeah. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Back with the wolves. Back with the den.
wolves.
In the den with the pack. Wolf things.
Wolf pack.
Cubs. I don't know.
Wolf
Wolf pack.
A one-man wolf pack.
One-man
Two-man
wolf
wolf
pack.
pack. Me and you, Siena.
True.
Anyone want to join?
Just us against the world.
You just have to howl as entry.
Yeah. We will be judging based on your howl quality.
American Werewolf in London.
Oh my God.
First time.
First time.
For you?
First time. I've seen like a lot of other John Landis films, and based on that,
which ones?
I'm trying to remember. I know I've seen Blues Brothers. I know I've seen. Oh my God, I haven't seen Animal House, but I've seen some of his other
Trading
comedies.
Places?
I think I've seen Trading Places.
Yeah, and we just posted about it for the cinema.
I did, yeah. But it's I was expecting much more of a comedy.
Sure, yeah,
and it's still very funny and is like definitely a horror comedy, but like
there is.
I was expecting it to be like a laugh every minute, and it takes itself so much more seriously. And I'm like, was this John Landis's passion project? I love that.
It was.
I love that so much.
I know. That's why he got so bitter about Howling Baker.
Oh my God!
He's like, this was the wolf movie I wanted to make, and you left me.
It's my cub.
So yes, it definitely was. We'll talk about it.
Sweet.
Me and Siena were talking during the break because of our crossover of special effects. I don't have a ton. I kind of knew you were going to cover that. I knew you were going first. It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same year.
People.
It was the same people.
Yeah.
I will talk about a little bit of the transformation scene. But we all have the goodies from the Howling, which it came out first, so it gets to have that.
There you go.
So yes, writer-director John Landis. National Lampoon's Animal House, like you said, 1978 is when that came out.
Oh, I've also seen some of the other National Lampoon movies.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, did he do the Christmas Vacation? He did not.
Which is the best.
Yeah, which is the best.
Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Animal House, Blues Brothers came out in 1980. Trading Places, Three Amigos, Coming to America, and we share a Michael Jackson, but Thriller.
Oh,
so
look at that.
I thought that was kind of funny that I was like, oh, I got a Michael Jackson. So he did the music video for Thriller.
Oh.
This is where my little take the pin out of the porn.
So ready.
We get a little director trademark.
Oh my God.
Which is the porn film he puts in
See you next Wednesday.
Yes, he puts in all of his movies. So see you next Wednesday. We see a bunch of times in this. It's obviously in the theater scene. It was written by John Landis in 1968 and was supposed to be a theater that showed old cartoons. So by the time he got to, like we said, this was 8 years in the works. By the time we get to 1980s, that wasn't really like a thing. Yeah, so it's just a regular porn theater.
Funny.
So he adjusted the script.
I love that.
Most of the time when we see You Next Wednesday in his films, they're different films. So ranging from thrillers to sci-fi adult movies. 2 adult movies, I should say. So it's kind of a range of genres that you might see. And the See You Next Wednesday title, where does that come from? Some people might know if they know the film. The Easter egg is from 1968's 2001, A Space Odyssey. It is the last line spoken by Frank Poole's father during Poole's video letter to his parents.
See, I assumed it was like a See You Next Tuesday joke.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
No, it's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Funny.
It's a very nerdy on his
Yeah.
behalf. So yeah, it's porn in this. I don't know if it's been porn in others, but the genre ranges. But See You Next Wednesday is the film that kind of the film within the film.
I'm also like I'm desperate to see this porn film. Like, I know it doesn't exist,
right?
but like,
well, it probably exists somewhere online that you can find.
Just so funny the fact that like people keep calling, people keep walking in on
my
them.
God,
It's
it's
the
so
wrong
funny.
room.
It's
like,
so funny.
It's incredible. I love that both of our films involved like fake porn.
I know.
Too.
They're
like,
very the fact that these were happening and coming up at the same time. I just can't imagine what the energy was around. I mean, this was being filmed overseas, so they didn't really.
They weren't in the same place, but at
still,
the same time,
I'm so curious of what that felt like at the time. So cinematographer, we have Robert Painter. Sorry, it's Paynter. You may recognize his work from, like we just talked about, Little Shop of Horrors.
Which
the
version?
86.
Oh, I love both of them. But yeah.
Any kind of version of Little Shop of Horrors, I'm a big fan of. Hate to say,
Steve Martin's Dentist will always have such a special place in my heart.
It's so
like,
good. It's so good.
Oh, mama!
I know that whole scene is a fever dream I want to be in.
Yes, yeah.
The only dentist I want to go to.
Oh my gosh!
The mouth shot.
And then is it Bill Murray at the end? Who's oh god, incredible!
Random, just felt so random. So
just as on for like 30 seconds and then leaves.
Yeah, and then gone.
God,
very MO of him.
Yeah.
He also did Muppets Take Manhattan, The Big Sleep. And then he worked together with John Landis again on Trading Places, Thriller, Into the Night, and Spies Like Us. So
interesting.
John Landis brings a lot of the same people over as well.
Together.
We have composer Elmer Bernstein. He is an American composer and conductor. His career spanned over 5 decades. He composed some of the most recognizable themes in films, over 150 original film scores, as well as scoring for 80 television shows.
Damn.
He's received Academy Award for Thoroughly Modern Millie from 1967. I tap danced in our high school theater production.
Oh my god, of course you did.
He's had Primetime Emmy Awards, Golden Globe Awards, Grammys, Tonys, so he's done a ton of shit.
I wonder, has he EGOT'd? Did he EGOT? Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
look at
EGOT.
that.
Yep,
he's an EGOT.
Yes, I was like, wait, I had to, because it doesn't have, it's an Academy Award. My brain was like, Oscars.
Yeah.
So yes, he did.
Oh my god. Which also, I'm so sorry. This is such a distraction, but I have to shout it out. Have I talked to you about Werewolf Bar Mitzvah?
No.
Speaking of werewolves, okay, Travis, are you cackling because you're familiar with it? Yeah. Okay, great. Please play it for Al on the way home. The full version.
Everyone listen. Everyone
pause this and go listen to the full version of the joke song Werewolf Bar Mitzvah from 30 Rock. It's
you have played this for me before. We were singing it one day after leaving the studio.
Bar Mitzvah, spooky, scary. Yes. Boys becoming men becoming wolves.
I remember this now.
Yes.
Siena always has to throw in a 30 Rock reference.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody pause, listen
Thank
to
you
that,
for the reminder. Actually do that because it's really fun.
Do yourself a favor.
It's good going, get a laugh out as we get into the sound of this. So composer.
It was like very important to my production. Like we would like take breaks for Werewolf Bar Mitzvah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, you and John Landis would have had a
great
lot
time.
in common.
Yeah, lot in common.
As we get into it. So he okay, talking about Elmer. No, this is like perfect because talking about wolf music is very, you kind of like teed me up to talk about John Landis and the psychosis. I feel like
oh my god, amazing
for this film and the music.
because also the music in this film.
Listen, I have large opinions about them. Listen, psychosis. This man,
like I love it. It's incredible. But it is
psychosis. This man was too attached. So exactly that. So I found an article of someone who was at the Olympic Studios during the scoring session for American Werewolf in London. So this guy, it's from like his point of view. So I'm going to bullet point it down. I got to list the source. I forget what it's called, but if you look that up, you can find it. So it's like his like full walkthrough.
Got it.
I think he was a student at the time or something like that. So
cool.
It was during the recording of the big werewolf transformation scene, the scene that John Landis said was going to blow the movie out of the water. He's like, this is it. This is as is every werewolf movie. So as composer Elmer Bernstein raises his baton to record the cue he wrote for that pivotal moment with John Landis here, John Landis abruptly hits the talkback button, like from the recording booth, and says, "Hey, we're not going to use it. We're going to go with Blue Moon." And Bernstein's like, "You have not heard me score
You have
this
to
yet.
be kidding
Give me
me,
a
right?
second." And Landis is like, "Yeah, I know." And so the producer then chimes in, saying they don't actually have the rights to Blue Moon yet.
Oh my
God. So of course,
God.
Elmer is like, what if the rights fall through?
Yeah.
Also, my score is better.
Yeah.
And Landis is like, "I'm good." So Elmer Bernstein records it anyways. He conducts the orchestra. It's amazing. I'll have to play a clip. I don't know if I want to play a clip for you here. So it's amazing. Everyone in the room is like, "This is fucking it. It's beautiful."
Yeah, we should cut a clip of this and put the music in it.
It's so good. You can find it on YouTube. And then
Amazing.
John Landis is listening and says, "It's great, Elmer, but it's Blue Moon. I'm using it. Like, if we get it, I'm using it."
My God.
And everyone's like gagged, right? I'm gagged because if you watch these two scenes over, I think Blue Moon was not it.
It's like, it's incredibly incongruous.
And if you watch it with the score, I'm telling you, you cannot unhear it. And you will watch. I have now watched American Werewolf because I watched this. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And so when I was watching the film, I'd already listened to it with a score. And I was like, it's just not good. That scene doesn't feel good anymore. So everyone felt that way. So it was a huge missed opportunity, an example of a director sticking to a clever idea, I said, versus listening to the actual material. And not listening to a legendary composer who's gone on to do so many things. So in the end, the total duration of the composer Elmer Bernstein's original score is only 7 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, again, people went into this film knowing this composer. Film music aficionados have like begged for a release of this music. I might try and play you like I want to play you clips of it. I'll have to show you after.
Yeah, show me after.
But oh my God, it's so Siena. It's the crescendos and the emotion. I showed it to Trav too, and I'm just like, it's just, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Wow.
Put a pin into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to some poor choices with music later
This
on.
is insanity. Are we talking about the closing credits here?
We're talking about all of it.
Okay, great, fantastic.
All the music choices in this. So that was just the composer half. This is then his poor choices of music in general.
Amazing.
And again, the moon psychosis he went into. So
well, that's part of why I went in assuming it was gonna be more of a comedy, is because when I was posting about this,
like 3 versions
on our accounts, I was looking up like what music should I post with a story of this, and I looked up and saw, oh, it uses "Bad Moon Rising" by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yep.
Okay, so clearly it's a comedy.
Yeah. Nah.
No.
I mean, like, yes, no.
Like, yes, no, but like not that kind of comedy.
The true comedy, the true dark humor in this is John Landis's fight for music.
John Landis's fight for his sanity.
Yeah, truly. So put a pin. We will come back to it.
Oh my
It's
God,
the
I'm
part that had me
delighted.
most gagged.
That's so funny.
And he just is a dummy. So starring, we have David Naughton, I think that's how you say his name, who plays David Kessler. Who at the time was at the height of his success as a soft drink spokesperson. Oh my God. Obviously wanted to try other ventures and decided to kind of end his role in commercials at this time. So that's how John Landis found him. Whoa. He was familiar with David's work for Dr. Pepper commercials.
Oh my God.
Isn't that so cute?
Well, and he's the one who's in After Hours, right? Am I getting that right? Or no, is that the other one? No, that's not David. That's the one who dies. Is the one who's in After Hours.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's okay. Griffin Doom.
That's Griffin.
Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's so funny.
Yes. So, of course, because of this and John Landis scene, I love that John Landis is like the Dr. Pepper guy.
Yeah.
I want him.
That's my star. The Dr. Pepper wolf to you.
So, Universal Studios execs were obviously like, he is not our first choice. Right. So, the first choice, I think, is the most obvious choices that Universal wanted. They wanted
Al Pacino.
I wish. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Okay, of course they did.
Would have been the 2 leads. That's who Universal
I'm
wanted.
so
obviously
glad they
coming
didn't
over.
Do that.
Me
Oh, God, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah. John Landis, of course, had worked with them before in Animal House and Blues Brothers just before. They were already household names, and that's why John Landis didn't want them. He stuck to his guns and went to casting actors who weren't iconic comedians because he thought it would be too comedic. And so that people would come to it expecting something. And so he didn't want to set himself up for this or have it be too much of a
Blue
comedy.
Moon over the transformation.
Listen, the music thing, he like went off his rocker with the hill he was dying on for that.
Oh my God.
And we'll, again, put a pin in that. It gets worse.
Oh, how?
Yeah. Oh, just wait. So that's why, to your point, imagine if it was Dan Aykroyd and Belushi, 1981. You're trying to do like a horror film.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna buy it. It would have been
funny. Yeah. But it just wouldn't have been. Yeah, no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That was like the main thing. So I'm glad he made his good choice there at least.
Yeah.
We have Griffin Dunn as Jack Goodman. I love this
great.
man.
He's so good.
I have the biggest crush on this man. He's also the teacher in My Girl.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my God. I love him so much. He gives me, I feel like Andrew McCarthy could have played this role really. They have like the same comedic style. So I love him for this role. He's in, like I said, After Hours, My Girl.
She's hilarious in After Hours too.
I haven't seen After Hours.
It's my favorite Scorsese, I think. It's really, like, it's
I know the poster.
Wild that it's by him. It does not feel like a Scorsese film. It like kind of feels like a Tim Burton movie.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that actually might get me to watch it.
Yeah, like Tim Burton light, but like that era of Tim Burton specifically, like Beetlejuice era Tim Burton.
That's such a good sell.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think you'd enjoy it.
So not only was he in those roles, he is known as Nicky on the TV series This Is Us. And he's the director of 1998's Practical Magic.
Oh my God, what?
I know. And then he also directed a documentary called The Center Will Not Hold about his aunt, Joe Didion.
What? He's Joe Didion's nephew?
Isn't that wild?
I'm sorry, I'm sure
Trav knows. I didn't know either of those facts. Isn't that wild? So he's kind of like done a bit.
Who is this
I don't
man?
know. I love him. I just love him. I love that is
my
thing.
God,
so
wild.
To get the role, he reportedly just had a quick 10-minute conversation reading the lines to John Landis, nailed it, got it. So very clearly he's super talented. So we have Jenny Gutter as Alex Price. You might know her from 1971's Walkabout, Jessica and Logan's Run, and she's in 125 episodes of a TV series called Call the Midwife, which sounds vaguely familiar.
She looks so much like Maggie Gyllenhaal.
That's what I said.
Right? Like,
I was like, if they redid this again.
Yeah, it would be Maggie.
Get her in there.
Yeah.
That's what I said, which I'm like, what a wild person to look like.
I know, because she doesn't look like anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
like, she doesn't even look like her brother.
I know. She doesn't even look like Jake. That's so funny. I'm so happy you said that. So I didn't note that down, but it was like
she really does.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Love. Thank you.
Fascinating.
Validation. Validation. So we have Frank Oz as Mr. Collins. The voice of Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear of the Muppets, voice of Yoda in Star Wars, as well as the voice of Cookie Monster and Grover in Sesame Street. You can hear his Fozzie Bear coming out in it.
Yes!
Voice actors, you always can kind of hear the thing that they're most known for.
Yeah. Well, and of course, there's still like a Kermit cameo in this, right?
Yes.
A Kermio?
Yes, a Kermio. I was going to say, we actually, if you'll notice at the end, we have Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog are credited.
As themselves. It's so good.
Because of the Muppet Show that shows in there, which I guess is called Senior Wenches. Wences? It aired in 1980, and I guess like that clip never aired in the US, so there's like all this like, was it real, was it not real, so that's why they like credited it.
Funny.
And we get a director cameo from John Landis in the wild, brutal car pileup, people getting flung and killed. Yeah, the Piccadilly Circus scene. He's in there for a brief moment as a bearded man who gets hit by a car and thrown into the glass window.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
So fun. Love to see it. That must have been so much fun for him.
He was fully. This is in the insane period.
Yeah. He was like, "Please run me over by a car." I'm thinking about all the the music that has the title Moon in it.
Run me over by a car as long as Blue Moon is playing.
As long as we have multiple versions of Blue Moon playing, we're good. So pre-pro script. So I said, this was something he had been working on for a while. So the script was first conceived by John Landis himself in 1969 when he was 18 years old.
Oh my God.
Baby. So he was.
And so he's also really, I didn't realize how young he was at this point. If he was 18 and 69, he would have been 31 at this point?
He's pretty,
something like that?
Oh my God. That makes me ill, people doing shit like this when they're so young.
Yeah.
So
he was. Looked up how old Joe Dante was. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a feeling they were probably around the same.
Yeah.
So at the time he was working as a production assistant on 1970s Kelly's Heroes in Yugoslavia. And that's where he got the idea for American Werewolf in London when he and a member of the crew were driving back in a car on location, and they came across a group of people who appeared to be performing rituals on a man being buried so that he would not rise from the grave.
Oh my God.
He said he saw the man get buried feet first, wrapped in garlic, because they feared he would come back to life. So I don't know, take what you want from that. Again, he was 18 years old, so I can only imagine being over somewhere new and seeing these things. So that's where he got the idea. So it always stuck with them, and then he it became a passion project of his, which I love
that.
Yeah, so he began to write the script for the next decade. Actually had no luck with studios making it obviously into a film until he got his big breaks with Animal House and Blues Brothers. So after those being a success, obviously people were like, sure, make whatever you want.
Which, I know this is so stupid, but did you see the post? I haven't verified this, but did you see that the current pope is a former giant Blues Brothers fan?
I don't like it on Earth anymore.
This is the world we live in.
I don't like that.
Our pope is a Blues Brothers fan.
Oh my God. Gays are the problem. I don't know.
Literally.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway,
he was a bro movie.
Yeah, right?
So I wrote, here's where I have an extra film. So I said, unfortunately, he wasn't the only one that had the idea at this time to write a werewolf movie, because there hadn't been, I think there was a lull. And so we have The Howling, Wolfen, like you said, and 1981 also had Full Moon High.
Oh
and
my
then
God,
obviously in
I didn't
85 we
that
have
one.
Teen Wolf. So
yeah.
But my God.
Wow.
That's
a
it
lot
was
of wolves.
Race to the Wolves.
Yeah.
The Race of the Wolves.
The whole pack came out that year.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just realized I was wrong about budget.
Huh?
I don't know what I have. I think I had the grossed in mind. It grossed.
Okay.
Okay. I wildly lied to you all. I gaslit you. If you knew the fact before. Okay. We're closer than you think.
Okay.
We're way closer than you think.
Okay.
I thought it was 30 million.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm looking at what it was grossed. Okay. So budget. Want to take a stab now knowing it was close.
11, somewhere around there.
No, it was actually less. I'm wildly wrong.
Ow, what have you done to me?
I think it's because I also I started my notes for our next one too.
Oh yeah, that
might have been it. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's 5.8, so that feels so much more realistic. Because I was where did the money go?
That's still yours was almost 3+ times mine.
Yeah.
So
which
that's more reasonable
this
than
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay,
5.8.
Fantastic.
I know where the money is
still,
going.
Though, how did they do the Piccadilly Circus scene?
Oh, we'll get there. We're almost actually we're getting there now.
We're
getting there right now.
Fantastic.
So
take me to the circus now.
We're taking you to the circus. Everyone, come on, pile in. So filmed mostly in London, various locations across England and Wales. The reason why John Landis chose London as a setting was because, quote, London was horror central, of course, home to Jack Ripper, Jekyll and Hyde. And so I wanted all that Victorian Gothic, but also wanted to show the real London of 1981. So some key locations we have are Haybluff in Wales, Crickadarn. I'm sorry, the UK.
What
you guys have the most silly little names. Crickadarn, Wales. We have the Black Swan pub in Surrey, England, for the interior of the slaughtered lamb, which is. I just love that moment too, where he's like, "There's no lamb."
Yeah, that's so good.
What's happening?
What kind of advertising is this?
So, and then obviously. we have Earl's Court, Piccadilly Circus, Tottenham Court Road Underground Station. Yes. And so Piccadilly Circus, how the fuck did they get such a central location?
I've only been to London once, but I remember having gone to Piccadilly Circus and it being very much like kind of like Times Square-y. Just like very full of tourists, full of people, like enormous traffic. Yeah. And I'm like, how did you do that?
I love that you've been there. So at the time, Piccadilly Circus had been, you couldn't film there. It was banned for 15 years.
Wow.
So I don't know what happened to where they put a ban for 15 years.
Fascinating.
Up until this film. So how did they get the privilege of filming there? John Landis set up a free screening of The Blues Brothers and invited 300 members of London's Metropolitan Police Force.
No.
And he said, quote, "They loved it. And what do you know? Suddenly I had permission to shoot in Piccadilly Circus."
Oh my God. The bro film strikes again.
I know.
That's so funny.
So that's how he got. So I don't know how much it costs, but he really wooed them over. They were only allowed to film between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. on 2 February nights and were able to stop traffic 3 times for 2 minutes max.
Wow.
So then comes in, they had some studios. So Twickenham Studios are some key interior scenes, including a mock-up of Piccadilly Circus. So that's where they kind of like filled in some stuff, I'm assuming, for a lot of the close-ups.
And like the crashes probably.
Oh, yeah.
Because I imagine they couldn't shoot that and then bring everything out in 2 minutes.
No way. So, and then the werewolf transformation scene, they wanted to have a controlled set for that.
That makes
sense. So, filming took place between February and March of 1981. So yours was out in March. So they probably were like, "Oh fuck."
Oh my God. Also, what a short post-production span too, because yours came out in like August, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Whoa. Oh my God. Also, Rick Baker could have done both films. Like schedule-wise, he could have made it work.
Listen, John Landis, I think, was just like, "You're not doing any. You're my friend. You're my wolf friend.
Wow.
You're part of my pact. I'll play Credence for you over and over and over. Come to this side." Rocking back in a corner.
Jesus Christ.
Wearing a wolf suit, I'm assuming.
It looks like a giant chipmunk.
Yeah. He actually stole that suit from them. I saw it in the trash. Like,
that's where it happened. Yeah, that's where it came from.
So they shot during this time. You would ask, like, why? That sounds like a horrible time to film in the UK.
Yeah.
Because it's really bad weather.
Yeah.
Unpredictable weather. But according to the film's production notes, that's why they chose the Welsh town of Crickadarn. Because it would have snow, sleet, rain, and sunshine all in one day. So they really wanted this unpredictability in the weather.
Because they had scenes with everything.
Yeah,
so,
and they wanted this like ominous, like you don't
really
really
know when it's gonna hit.
Yeah, so it was that sucks, I think.
Wow.
And according to actors like David Naughton, he did not love this. He said about kind of acting in these various weather conditions in one day, quote, "It's rather difficult to do because it's cold, you've got on no shoes, and I don't jog in bare
anything
feet."
Else either.
He's like, "I don't jog in bare feet, even in California." And that's the hardest part. You're running in wooded areas on slick paths, trying not to look like you're going, ouch, ouch, ouch. And they were saying, "Come on, it's warm, it's a dream, you're leaping like a deer." So you just had to go for
the
it.
naked scene especially, where he's like running through the Jesus.
He's like naked for 90% of this movie.
Yeah, true. Also that.
Yeah. They also shot most of the movie in sequence, which I love to like hear sometimes. And actor David spoke about this again, saying, quote, "It's a little unusual to shoot a movie in sequence. We shot opening first. It was scheduled to give Rick Baker as much time as possible to finish up on things, which would require special makeups, prosthetics, etc. So all this stuff was going to be shot at the back end of the 10-week shoot."
Interesting. Okay.
So it makes sense, especially if they're like pulling him over and
that
John's
does make sense.
bitching about it. So special effects.
Yes.
So John Landis admitted to the LA Times in an interview that he originally had, quote, "no idea how Rick Baker and his teams were going to pull off these transitions." Like I said, they shot it during bright lights in this apartment, so you have to show everything. So
there's nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. So Rick went to work on this again, part 2. I don't know how much he brought over from Howling to this, if I'm honest, but he said that his approach to research was from a scientific point of view. I think we do see a lot of those images in the Howling, all those kind of, which I love. I'm like, I want some of those
Eddie
frames.
Quist's wall, especially where you have all of the, like, his collage of
It's
inspo.
so the one of the skull transforming into the wolf.
So good.
I'm like, frame it for me, please. So, he said he spent a lot of time looking at the anatomy of humans and wolves, saying, quote, "The way I decided to approach the transformation was through comparative anatomy. I didn't have a wolf skeleton in my collection, of course, but I had a dog's, and that was close enough. Comparing it to a human, you find that many of the bones are similar. It's just the proportions that are different. So I think a lot like yours. I made lists of differences, what the major changes were, whether it got shorter or it got longer, and I figured out how we could get a suit out of this in the later stages that made sense. So I think, again, the approach was probably pretty similar.
Interesting.
We have kind of the talking about the transformation scene itself. They had a pneumatically maneuvered spine and bone shape, so compressed air mechanics to kind of create the motion. So cool. They had independent vertebrae mechanisms as well as like shoulder moving forms.
Oh, that's sick.
It's so cool. And so the airlines of these mechanisms kind of all converged on this large plywood control panel that at least 10 crew members had to coordinate at the same time and puppeteer together, which is like, I can only imagine like the stress on set when you're doing that.
I'm
being
just
like,
picturing
everyone...
sweat pouring down onto the board.
Yeah, truly. It's really just sparking. They're like, no, we got it. Cigarettes hanging out of everyone's mouth. They're just passing it to one another. They just finish one cigarette together. And then just like yours, of course, the subtle transforming effects were done by the small bladders. I do not believe they used condoms like yours. So that's where we get the pulsing veins, the expanding body parts. And you kind of talked about yours, how they didn't know their limits and it would pop.
Yeah.
They had overlapping layers of latex, so it would burst through and
into
they wouldn't
the
get
next
the popping.
One. Yeah.
So that was interesting hearing that from yours. I'm like,
they probably learned the lesson. I bet you that Rob Bottin went and was like, "Hey, Rick,
you probably want to do this."
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That's
so I love that you said that, because I was like, "Fuck!" I have like a big note that they had overlapping layers of latex.
That.
So
that's such a genius. Two genius solutions to the same problem.
Yeah.
The tensile strength
and
of
both
latex.
work perfectly
in different ways.
Yeah. So apparently Rick Baker was disappointed by the amount of time spent shooting the face-changing shot and transformation after spending months working on the mechanisms. Why? They only did one take, which lasted 7 seconds.
You're kidding me.
He said he felt like he wasted his time, and that, of course, was until he watched the film.
And like, they got it.
He's like, okay, we got it. But like, I can only imagine
that's an insane way to work.
All his work being pulled over,
it's
bullied over,
especially because at this point in time, you're not working on digital cameras where you can see what you're shooting as you're shooting it. You've got to wait for the dailies to be run.
Yeah, no, John Landis was like, we're good. We got it. So he retracts it and saying like it totally was worth it. It looked amazing. But I can imagine feeling so defeated after working so hard. I know. I'm curious. I gotta read a few more interviews with the two of them. I'm curious how they feel about each other.
Me too. Yeah. What's the relationship like these days, boys?
Then so John Landis acknowledges the challenges he presented with Rick, saying in the screenplay, this is where we come to the lighting. He said, in the screenplay, it was the worst possible thing for an effects artist. It specifies that it happens in bright light in the script, and it's extremely painful. And I wanted to show it. I wanted, and when I saw the movie last, I thought it showed the wolf way too much. And I think I was just so enamored with what Rick had accomplished. So I think he, thankfully gave Rick a little bit more screen time than maybe he had originally, just because he loved his work.
It's still not that much screen time. I don't feel like the wolf is overused.
No.
In either of these, actually.
I love how much they show it in yours. It feels more fitting.
Yeah.
And it feels fitting that it's not...
That there's less in yours.
Yeah. Until that very... Like, the end feels... I guess this one has, to a point, like, more of those two reveals that we talk about, because the end feels very climactic,
well,
too.
And especially, I think, because so much of it with yours is from David's perspective, and he's, like, not conscious, it seems like, when he's the
No,
wolf. Like,
yeah.
he's gone.
It serves the story to not see it as much. 'Cause
exactly.
he doesn't know. Yeah.
He's not seeing it. He's not seeing himself.
Yeah. So it works in that way. So when it came to working with actors, reportedly the first things Rick Baker said to David when they met was, "I feel sorry for you." That's because Rick Baker knew he had to get molds of his body made for prosthetics, and knew that he had to transform the actor, so he would have to be picked up at 4:30 in the morning. God. Taken to the studio, and reportedly sit in the chair for 10 hours.
I
can't imagine.
God,
I don't think I'm
nightmare.
strong enough for that. So
truly.
David said,
I would just be asleep the whole time.
I know. I guess you would like, I love watching the interview of Jim Carrey talking about the Grinch and how he implored like military tactics to and then chain smoke, to be fair. So I love it. David said to him getting the makeup done, it was like, quote, "a long flight that never gets there." That's like torture, man. But apparently it didn't even compare to the hospital bed in the forest scene, where he said it was most difficult and painful because he had those glass contact lenses in his eyeball. Oh God, yeah, which we really didn't have the technology. Miserable. And we really just shoved shit in people's eyes back then.
Yeah. Now contacts specialty contacts are so much kinder to actors. Like, they're still miserable, but they're not glass. Yeah,
probably thick glass, I'm assuming. I don't know. That just I wear contacts, but that makes me ill.
Yeah.
So after the film came out, David said he was actually concerned about being typecast, and because he was mostly being offered horror scripts after this one, obviously kind of going from commercials to going to this, and that even with the film's success, he didn't want to do more horror films. In a retrospective, he kind of talks about this and saying it wasn't so much the genre that he was avoiding, but, quote, "after the makeup experience, I was so over the whole idea of sitting in a chair for hours on end, and I had worked with the best or the person who you would soon become one of the top makeup artists. So yeah, I was not in a hurry to go out and do anything related to hours of makeup, prosthetics, or anything of that business." So I love that he kind of retracts it. It's just like, I can't do.
Yeah, it's not the horror, genre.
It's prosthetics. I'm not in. So we can pull the pin back out of sound and music.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Just for a little moment to talk about Psychosis. Yes. So John Landis basically set out, as we can tell, to get every song ever that had the word moon in it. But he wasn't so successful in his little delusion. So not only...
Well, yeah, given one, he has just two versions of the same song.
He wanted... Well, okay. We're getting into it. So it was the Marcel's cover of Blue Moon that we hear in the film. As the one that kicks off. And then I think we get... I want to say the original one at the very end.
Yeah.
So... But even with getting those two, it was not the one he wanted. He wanted Bob Dylan's cover. So why didn't he get the rights to it? So not only did he fight for this and like not trust Elmer, his composer, and like said fuck you to everyone, it's because Bob Dylan declined because his religious beliefs at the time.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the fuck that means. So not only did he basically tell Elmer, I'm sure he had the Bob Dylan one in mind, and then he was like, no, we'll get the rights.
Yeah, didn't get the rights. Get the rights. Oh my God.
I love that justice for them. So he also failed at getting another song, Moon Shadow by Cat Stevens.
Oh. That would not have worked in this.
Listen, he just wanted Moon. That's all he wanted, Siena. He didn't care. He didn't care what things were about. So,
oh my God.
He not only had become, Cat Stevens at the time, had not only become more cautious about how his music was used, but by 1980, Cat Stevens had converted to Islam.
Yeah, he was Yusuf.
Yes! Yeah. I did not know that. And so because it involved werewolves and supernatural and undead,
God. It's against his religion,
I'm not doing that. And so he did get his, he got some luck with Bad Moon Rising and stuff, but I'm just like, oh my God, this man like fought so hard and was such a cunt to not even get his way for most of these songs.
Nothing.
Yeah, so I thought that was so funny. So I just want to say that for then. Some of the sound design that we do hear, and he was willing to work with people on, was the kind of weird, eerie ambience, and then kind of the wolf howls. So
they're good howls.
They're so good.
Really good
so
howls.
I have a quote from John Landis talking about those, saying, quote, "So that wolf howl you hear is actually made up of 9 different sounds."
Wow,
including
that's a lot of layers.
So many. More than necessary, probably.
Yeah.
Wolf, lion, panther, and even a locomotive. are used. So kind of the other sound you hear after that first attack out on the moors that we see, it was actually a pig farm recorded from a distance. And it was something to make the audience say, what the hell was that?
That's cool.
Which I love.
That's really cool.
So at least he was willing to, especially when you don't see the wolves, it's really important to have good sound there.
Much.
So we're kind of rounding the corner. This is a little bit shorter one for me. So test screenings and ratings. It has an R rating, but it was pushing it a bit and almost received an NC-17.
Oh my God.
Which is like every film I cover.
I mean, I guess there is a fair amount of dick. Like there is some on-screen dick.
Yeah. So they to that point, in order to get it back down to R.
Is that why the balloons happened?
I believe so.
Oh my God.
I think that's why we get the balloons. You had to tone down the sex scenes. And
the like, a naked American stole my balloons.
Honestly, that scene is so funny. Yeah, so they had to cut out probably that, I'm assuming, sex scenes. And then weirdly enough, there's the scene where a piece of toast falls out of Jack's throat.
Okay, Jack's throat was really
so good,
incredible.
He's such a little cutie pie.
Also, the detail of as he decomposes when he appears in the porn theater at the end, where you can see the skin hanging over his teeth.
Yeah,
I'm like,
isn't that so good?
That has to be fake teeth and then a layer of skin over it. Like, how did you do that?
I know, it looks like a real
it's
skeleton,
incredible,
little puppeteer. I'm pretty sure it was a puppet.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't look that part up. Yeah, it's a puppet.
Curious. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Because it was like, how could they
I'm pretty sure that was a puppet.
Have done that with makeup?
The way they do it, it's just so good.
Wow.
It's so good. Oh my God, now I'm sweating.
Wow.
So so those were some scenes. He also edited out a scene where the werewolf attacked a group of unhoused men. And so preview audiences freaked out over that, and he said he actually regrets doing that. So
having shot it or having taken it out?
I think doing it.
Okay.
With the response from audiences.
Yeah.
So good on those audience people for sticking up for that scene. So here's where we get can you guess what this grossed? Because it's definitely not what I thought the budget was of this film.
Could it have been 30 mil?
It was, Siena. Nailed it. I feel like an asshole.
Wow, so like
My
percentage-wise, like our films were pretty similar in terms of what they cost versus what they made.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
So 30.7 approximately. And I feel like most often, my last few have been doing better over in the UK.
Yeah.
This one actually did better domestically. So
interesting. I guess London
US.
didn't want the werewolf
like,
there. Yeah.
And then I didn't know there was a 2020 re-release that earned about 117K.
Wow,
so
interesting.
That was kind of cool. So you can add that to it a little bit. At the 54th Academy Awards, American Werewolf in London won first ever Best Makeup.
I saw this. This was the one fact that I looked up.
That isn't it so cool? I had no idea that was first ever.
Okay, did you see why they made the category? Because I was
going to look it up this morning. I forgot.
Oh, I'm so glad I get to bring in that tip, actually.
Thank you.
So the reason why that happened was because the year before, in 1980, the Elephant Man had been at the Oscars.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And everybody was so distressed that the makeup effects in it were so amazing, but there was no category to acknowledge it.
So happy.
And so the next year,
that's the way we
Best
get it.
Makeup becomes
Everyone
a category.
bully the Academy, please.
Yeah, only good things come from bullying the Academy.
Truly,
let's be real.
Yeah. I had a note about the Elephant Man,
so
but
cool.
did not. I think it might be below my sources.
Yeah, amazing.
Unedited. So I thought that was so cool, and like how fun that first ever was a horror movie.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and then Saturn Awards, so it was there as well. The 9th, so I don't know if it was 1980 or 1981.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
But it won for Best Horror Film and Best Makeup.
So it would have had to be 81 because mine won for 80.
Oh shit!
So there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
So two werewolf films went out right after
so
another.
Funny that mine came out after and yours was
80.
That's weird.
Very weird.
It was also nominated for Best Actress and Best Writing.
I love that.
The boys didn't get any love there.
Good.
Critics critics response. So has a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 89 from critics, 85 from audiences.
Yours is way higher than mine. That's
like 10%.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty even.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like
too.
They're both like 4.5 star films.
Yeah, if you like one,
me.
you kind of like the other.
Yeah,
I feel like personally,
it feels like they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You have to have you cannot talk about one without having conversation of the other.
They're
just
a couple.
so they are. They're really paired together. I have mine's not so unhinged from Roger Ebert. He also gave this a 2 out of 4 stars.
Oh my god.
Starting off his review, like the first lines of his review are very bold, saying, quote, American Werewolf in London seems curiously unfinished, as if director John Landis spent all his energy on spectacular set pieces and then didn't want to bother with things like transitions, character development, or an ending.
Okay, I do agree with him about how abrupt the ending is.
I mean,
like, it feels intentional, but it does
listen,
also,
it was the 80s.
Yeah.
They're like, we're done. We're wrapped. He goes on to say the movie has sequences that are spellbinding and then long stretches when nobody seems sure what's going on, which I could say the same about both of these.
Yeah, that's true.
There's time when special effects almost wipe the characters off the screen. It's weird. It's not a very good film, and it falls well below Landis's work in National Lampoon's Animal House and the rambunctious Blues Brothers. Landis never seems very sure whether he's making a comedy or a horror film, so he winds up with genuinely funny moments, acting as counterpoint to the gruesome undead.
I think that's exactly what he was going for.
I think this movie is perfect, so no one can tell me otherwise. It has its flaws. Shut your mouth about them.
Blue Moon.
In tradition, I brought in Letterboxd reviews.
Yes, amazing.
One of them from Adam Acula gave it 5 stars, saying, "I love my autistic boyfriend," which is something me and you would say.
True.
Yeah. Oh, and then to make fun of John Landis' psychosis, we have someone giving it 4 stars, saying, "The people making this movie, cracking knuckles. All right, how many songs about the moon can we fit into 97 minutes?"
This
John Landis would say more.
4 moon songs in this bad boy.
And then last, we have 4 stars saying, "Bro, what if I were a slowly rotting corpse and you were a werewolf and my soul couldn't be at peace until you were dead and then we were both boys?"
And what if there was like only one room
boys
at the inn and we had to share?
And we were both boys.
And we were both boys.
Some influences I wanted to cite of like what has been influenced by this film. Obviously, both these films are so impactful, and you can't talk about them without talking about what they've kind of given life to. So, Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi cited this movie specifically as an influence.
Both of these felt like big Sam Raimi influences.
I feel like probably everything I'm about to list out, people are also going to cite the Howling.
Probably.
I'm just only citing American Werewolf, but I'm pretty sure, again, these are in conjunction. Yeah. So he loved the blend of horror and comedy with the over-the-top physical effects. We have Shaun of the Dead from 2004.
Makes sense.
Edgar Wright has said John Landis's tone, mixing like the real with danger and humor, kind of influenced his approach to horror comedy. What We Do in the Shadows, the film, not the TV series. Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement reference Landis's blending, again, of like the deadpan comedy with monster movie rules. We have Dog Soldiers, which is another one that I thought we could cover. Trav had me watch it. It's the way it's shot, I would say is not great, but the story is so good, you almost immediately forget how shitty it's shot. It feels very like I have a little recorder. Like, I feel like me and you had these cameras as kids, and that's what it looks like it's shot like. But the story blows you away. So Neil Marshall has spoken about how Landis's movies shaped his approach, as well as mixing grounded characters with creature feature intensity. Wolfman from 2010, they cited specifically Rick Baker's effects from it. And even hired Baker himself to work on the 2010 film.
Sick.
And then, of course, The Fly, Cronenberg, with his transformations, kind of were developed by Baker's effects.
Interesting.
To do those, which I just watched The Fly not that long ago again, and it's just so perfect. But yeah, so
also Werewolf Bar Mitzvah in the canon of
also the most popular, most important one,
the most culturally significant in the canon of werewolves are Jewish.
Oh my god, I love
because
you
those
for
were
that.
some of the funniest jokes in this movie.
So
how
funny.
many jokes about the werewolves being Jewish there were?
It's because
surprised and delighted.
David, being like, I think he is Jewish
that
himself,
makes sense.
and he was like really nervous about being naked for this. So I think that's where a lot of the jokes come from.
Oh my god. So all of the jokes about him being circumcised were specifically because he was nervous about being on camera being circumcised.
John Landis really was poking fun. So I didn't put that like fully in my notes. It's not fully fleshed out, but I think you can find
fully fleshed out, Al.
Listen, I'm sweating my fur coat.
Those notes were circumcised.
Oh my
just God. So you know.
Fucking nailing it. You weren't sick, you liar. You're like so
God.
on it today. Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's incredible.
Oh my God.
It's all the cold medicine talking, baby.
It's really hitting its stride now. Oh my God, that's so funny. These were so fun.
That was delightful.
I love that we were so worried about overlap, but it was like in the best way possible.
It was perfect. Yeah, they're a couple.
Yeah,
they are a couple.
Perfectly paired.
Oh my God.
Gosh, we have so many. I feel like there's so many things to talk about. We have our next episode, we will have lots of new updates for you guys.
So stay tuned for like big, special, exciting, so many.
Yeah, lots of change,
all
but
of
good change.
Good change, good
change.
things.
So hang in there with us.
Yeah. But our next episode, we're doing a pre-Christmas Cusack Classics pairing. Of Room 1408. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cover, and
I'm doing Identity.
Yeah, and I didn't look up the years on either of these, which I normally do.
2003.
That sounds right. Yeah. And mine's also sometime in the 2000s. I can't remember exactly.
I know people. I feel like don't talk about these
either
two films.
These films enough.
I don't think I'm curious of how much we might be a lighter episode, and we'll tell you why next time.
It might be a little bit shorter on the film side and a little bit heavier on the us side. But I expect it'll still end up being about the same length. Given that, though.
I'm excited to talk about Cusack because I feel like these I love these two films, and I've seen them a few times. It's been a while.
I haven't seen Identity, but I remember 1408 really getting under my skin.
Yeah, I'm excited. These are really psychological ones for us. So
it feels
really in the dark.
Excited to revisit 1408 after having seen Jacob's Ladder, because I feel like there's some similarities there.
Ooh, I'm excited that now I've seen
Jacob's
Ladder. Which, God, man, I can't get over Jacob's Ladder.
I know. It has really been haunting me.
Yeah, I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I think I've had dreams about it since watching it, which is not great.
Just like the dance. So good. I'm excited to see if there's talking points there for that, actually. So yeah, Cusack. We had to talk about Cusack in horror, which
I'm excited
he's
for
so
that.
good in these.
And if you're listening to this the week that it comes out, American Werewolf is screening at the theater this weekend, this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't seen it or haven't seen it on the big screen, I feel like it's one that's a good theatrical experience.
Me too.
I imagine.
Especially, like reactions with people. It's just like such a, I feel like it's a good like in a room of strangers film.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, hearing like the gasps and laughs feed off each other feels like it would really add to the experience.
So good. Also, can we talk about how that girl saw every walking red flag and she just still brought this
The fact that she
home?
chooses to bring him home is really just like,
I'm like, is that not
it's the most
illegal,
like written by a man thing
I know.
About this movie.
This woman took care of him like a lost puppy.
Yeah, the fact that he's being that weird and that like,
and she's like, "Oh, you silly."
Yeah, the line that really got me was when she was like, "I'm feeling this strange combination of sorry for you and attracted to you," and I'm like, "That's so written by a man because those two things do not exist together."
Nope. Yeah, so just have to call that out.
Yeah.
She was, but she got Saturn for Best Actress. So,
or hell yeah, she sold it.
Yeah.
As stupid as the line was, she sold it.
Yeah, at least nominated.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cusack off.
Cusack off. Christmas Cusack off. Cusack off.
What else do we have to talk about? I don't know. I guess we'll save it a lot. For next week.
I think we save the other surprises for next week.
Yeah, or 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. Yeah. For us, we're recording it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
I think that's it. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Follow us
on the socials, on the medias.
Splice Splatter. We also have a support the pod.
Yes.
Link. So for $3 a month.
Yes.
$3 a month if you can financially do it. Otherwise, sharing our content is equally as helpful, and we appreciate both things depending on
Greatly.
It's 2025 is rough, y'all. We get it.
We get it. We very much
sharing
get it,
is awesome with friends. So appreciate that. Thanks for all your comments.
Yeah. I know we're gonna talk more about this next time, but I'm working on kind of logging my notes. I'm going to start grabbing Al's notes too, so that we can start uploading those to the Patreon and get those up there for y'all.
See how neurotic I am with my notes. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm nervous for y'all to see them, but it is like a good.
It's such an insight to like our brains.
It really is. Yeah.
And if I don't have my like. The way my notes are structured is because I will forget. I clearly forget things every time I show up. So
I think it's really going to surprise people to see how disorganized my notes are.
Yeah, but you're so much better at remembering it. So anyways, no one judge us. But yeah, so we'll do bonus content.
Yeah.
We're going to be figuring that out, talking to you guys about that. And then I think that's kind of it until next time. So thank you. Warren for giving us our notes on how to do audio.
Yeah, I hope y'all liked how the last episode sounded. We got there eventually.
Yeah, Siena mixed it. Trav's listening and recording. So thanks, Trav.
Thanks, Trav.
I'm doing nothing. I'm just a little princess over here.
Aren't we all?
So nobody thanked me. I just showed up.
No thanks to Al.
Kind of did okay. So
actually, thank you for those of you who are watching. Thank you, Al, for this great coat.
I gave Siena my Candyman coat.
I am obsessed with it. Y'all know how much I love Candyman, so I'm going to be channeling my best inner Tony Todd this winter. Thanks to Al.
Keep warm.
Also, thanks to Theo Schaefer for playing us out. We adore our theme. And until next time, this has been Splice and Splatter, the film podcast for classic horror.
It's modern gore.
And until next time, we'll be right back.